Yo everybody, how you doing? Welcome to Philly 500 season prediction follow-up show. Now, we're going to talk about the Eagles season prediction today, and I'm going to talk about what I voted for why and how I went along voting for 9 and 7. Now, I decided 9 and 7 was about what I think the Eagles would do, probably at best case scenario. If you really look at it, a lot of people have been saying to me, yo, Philly 500, why are you saying 9-7? You're crazy, you're crazy. They're going 10-6. Well, 10-6 and 9-7 is a one-game difference. You know what I mean? Jeremy, hey, buddy. Hey, Jeremy, how you doing, buddy? How are you? Hey, LeVar Ball, how you doing? Your son looks great. Now, what's up, Deshaun? How are you, buddy? So a lot of people were like, how can you go 9 and 7? 9 and 7, but then they're like, well, I think they're going 10-6. 10 and 6 and 9 and 7 to me are one and the same almost. It's just one game. Even 8 and 8. So I thought that the Eagles would go probably around 9-7, and that's probably a good thing. Because the truth of the matter is this. How do I reconcile with wanting Carson Wentz to have, an improved year or make progress, but have a coach who I don't really believe in too much be there the following year? And that's about what would have to happen in my mind for it to be that way. So I think 9 and 7 is really like the best case scenario for the Eagles. I think they could go 10 and 6, they could go 11 and 5. It's all possible, but that's what I thought. So I know you guys may disagree. You want to come and argue with me on let's go, let's do this, and let's go. Tell me what you think and why I'm right, why I'm wrong. Let's do it. Sandman, 10 and 6. All right, I can see it. LeVar Ball, if the 2016 draft restarted, do you think the Eagles would take Wentz again? I hope they should. I would want Wentz again. Let's see. Let's see how it develops in camp and preseason. Yeah, obviously. Now I'm going to do I called this Eagles season prediction 1.0 because I think that when you go through preseason and we get to see the team, you have to have the right to redo kind of your predictions because things happen. Trevon Jones, 8 and 8. Ugh, that would be tough. Vester, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Mimi Machine, 9 and 7 or 10-6. Yeah, I think that's about right. I think it's about right. And look, 9 and 7 sometimes can get you into the playoffs. That's the thing people have to understand. Sometimes it can get you into the playoffs. We'll beat the Cardinals and sweep the Skins. Okay. Well, listen, we haven't swept the Skins. And my thing with the Cardinals were two things why I said that would be a tough game. One, we struggle with the Cardinals consistently. Plus, the Cardinals have a good offense. And with our quarterback situation, I really worry about, being able to beat the Cardinals. So if you look at the losses that I gave the Eagles, it was a lot of teams with good quarterbacks or good passing games. Green Forest, Eagles going 12-4. Dang, boy, if they go 12-4, I'll be flipping out. I have to do something crazy if they go 12-4. Cardinals are old. Yeah, but they still have a good offense and they can move the ball. Yeah, they do have a good offense. You don't think their running back is a good running back? I think they can put up points. I still think the Cardinals can put up points. If you think the Cardinals can't put up points, hey, maybe you're right. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But I think that they could put up good points. Holly Way, how you doing, buddy? LeVar Ball, what do you have on their line? Who do they have on their line? I don't know. David Johnson, yeah, exactly. 10 and 6 more likely in my opinion. Okay, but Spunky, we're talking about one game. One game separating me and you, right? So, 10 and 6, okay. Best case scenario would be 10 and 6, 11 and 5. What up, buddy? What up, Yashir? How you doing? Thank you for joining. So, we'll see, Exactly, no room, move space for Johnson. What do you give up for Barkley? Too early to tell, Jeff. I don't know. It depends where we are. I don't think... Most likely the Eagles are going to be like picking, 15 to 20, 25, something like that. most likely they're not going to be able to go up and get Barkley. I mean, that's just the truth. Would I go ahead and try to get him? I'll always try to move up for talent, but I wouldn't give up too much. I'm not giving up 2-3 first-round picks for a running back. In your opinion, who has the best O-line, Dallas or you all? Up in the air. I think Dallas has a better line right now. I think the Eagles' problem is the center. And if you can upgrade that center position, I think the Eagles could give them a run for their money. But you have to give it to Dallas at this point. Yeah. Yes, it is, Spunky. It's scary how much we agree. Holly Way. Dallas, even though they lost 2 starters. Yeah, I think so right now. But Dallas' day of reckoning is going to come. Tristan, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for joining. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate everybody being here. And, we're going to talk some Eagles. I'm so psyched about this season. I can't wait for camp to start. I need it now. I'm dying here. What do you think are the top 5 hardest games this season? Top 5. I think that Seattle game in Seattle is probably the hardest game, right? I would say that's the hardest game. I think that Chiefs game in Kansas City is going to be hard because I believe Kansas City is a very, very, very hard place to play. I think that Thursday in Carolina is really hard. I think the Redskin first game from a mental standpoint is tough. And, probably, going down to Dallas is tough. 11-5 is a real possibility. Man, you give me 11-5, I'll be so happy. I would be very, very, very happy. Did you hear the Cowboys defense, Seahawks 2-3? Nah! The Cowboys defense stinks! Green Forest, I live in Carolina. Oh, yeah, what part? Where at? What do you grade our wide receivers core? Well, I like Alshon if he could stay healthy. I'm not a fan of Torrey Smith. I like Matthews in the slot. So right now, I'll say we'll give him a B-. Sean, who do better in Dallas than in Philly? Well, I don't understand. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Oh, I love Myrtle Beach. I love it. Very nice place. Alshon is going to be unstoppable. Web boy. Yeah? All right. What do you think? I'm saying if he can have 80 to 90 catches, 10 touchdowns, 1,200 yards, that would be awesome. I'd give up 2 first rounds, some running back like Zeke, 2 multiple. So you'd give 2 first round picks for Barkley. That's very interesting. Maybe I might. Meme. I saw the Redskins fans saying they would win. I missed it, buddy. Are you going to any games this season? Taco, I don't know yet. I'm hopeful that I will. Salmon, hope we get the Ravens version of Torrey Smith. Well, not the last year in Baltimore, because the last year in Baltimore he stunk. I mean, he didn't stink, but he wasn't that good. I don't think. Why we play better against the Cowboys in Dallas than in Philly? Probably, they probably get too pumped up and to put too much pressure on themselves at home in front of the crowd. And it's easier to, be the underdog and go in saying, we have nothing to lose. I would think it's just a mental thing. That's what I think. It's definitely a mental thing. Torrey Smith regressed because he cut his dreads. Fact. Then he better start growing them back. Now, not a fan of Torrey Smith. Tristan, me either. I'm not a fan. I mean, I like the person. I like the human being. But from what I saw his last year at Baltimore, and then what I saw in San Francisco, I didn't like. Gregory, yo, just woke up. What's up? What's up, Gregory? How you doing? How you doing? Dreads, ha ha ha. Okay, I gotta get some water. It's very hot today. I don't know how hot it is, but it's hot. Would you still draft Wentz? Yes. Yes. Holly, I believe that Wentz is going to be, literally, he is going to be a top 5 quarterback, 3 quarterback possibly. I think he's a franchise quarterback. I think he's going to win you 1 to 2 Super Bowls. I see him like that. So I would do it in a minute. Torrey Smith is going to surprise people this year. Spunky, hey man, I hope so. I would love nothing more than every player on the Eagles to do good. But the truth of the matter is, I can't say that I think they're going to do good when I don't. Because, I want them all to do good, but it don't work that way. Yes, Gregory, I do think that the Eagles will sweep the Giants. It's a guaranteed. It's a Philly 500 exclusive. Yes. I hope Mac Hollins becomes a beast Sandman. Yes, I agree. I totally agree with that. Green Forest. Should the Eagles trade Jordan Matthews? Oh, that's an interesting question that fires people up. I like Jordan Matthews. I don't see how Jordan Matthews and Alshon both can be re-signed next year on this team. So I would say if you got a second round or more, which you probably won't, I would do it. For a third or less, I would not. Our rookie wide receivers are actually good, I believe. Well, I hope so. Jeff Vance, do you like the Barnett pick now? No, I do not. I'm rooting for him. I wish him nothing for the best. I hope out of all the rookies in the NFL, he does the best. But I still would not have drafted him at that spot. Now, what could change my mind? If he goes out and he has 6-7 sacks and shows that he's not Brandon Graham 2.0. Kevin, a lot of people are going to get cut next year. What's your predictions? You mean like record? I think 9-7 record-wise. Do you think Barnett makes Rookie of the Year? I do not. I do not think he will. Barnett should be an excellent pass rusher. Well, maybe. For what you draft him at 13, you need to be. When you're drafted 13, you can't get 5.5 sacks. You understand what I'm saying? You got to be a premier pass rusher. You need 10 or more. That's what I think. Yasher, Sidney Jones, next Pro Bowl. I don't think he's going to play this year. But I hope so. He broke Reggie White's record at college. I understand that, Gregory. I understand that. But this is the pros. And from what I hear, what I fear of him, I don't know that he's that. But look, I want him to be good. People got to understand. When I say something like, I don't like this guy or I care for this guy, it doesn't mean I'm not rooting for him. I'm still rooting for him. Let him do great. I hope he does, but I don't believe in him. He has to show me something. And this is scars that I have been scarred. I've been scarred. You understand? I've been scarred from them drafting Brandon Graham over Earl Thomas. I can't let that go. That was emotional for me. Vester, is Sidney Jones going to be able to go in October, November? Do you want to wait till next year? I want to wait till next year. I don't want to rush him at all. Why would I rush him? And, Achilles injury is a scary injury, especially for a corner. You think about a corner who has to adjust so much, right? A lot of moves, a lot of shifting, all that kind of stuff. Let him rest the whole year. Put him in bubble wrap and let him just sit and watch. Let him learn. Let him be mentored by Malcolm Jenkins, and let him see how pros act during the season in the locker room. Let him do all that, and then come back next year 100%. That's what I would say. The Achilles injury is a bad injury. We shouldn't rush him. I agree, Cloud. What's up, EDP's Lotion? How you doing today? You still full? We'll go to the playoffs. Well, I think it's going to be very close. Do you think Burton will be more involved this year? I do think Burton will be more involved this year. I think he should be involved this year. Burton has a very good offensive ability. He has very good offensive ability. He needs help with his blocking, but I like him in terms of as a tight end, as a catching tight end. You know what I mean? Who makes Rookie of the Year? If I had to guess Rookie of the Year right now, I'm going to say Leonard Fournette. I think Leonard Fournette will be Rookie of the Year. He's got the easiest position to do it, and I think that he's going to. What's going on, Philly? What's up, Jags? How you doing, buddy? Should we get rid of Selleck? No, I don't think you need to get rid of Selleck right now. I think Selleck's a valuable leadership guy for the young guys. So I'm okay with keeping Selleck for another year. But I would use more of Burton, I think, and less of Selleck. But, Selleck's a good blocker. That's what I would do, in my opinion. I definitely would do that. Jeffrey, 1,200 yards, 8 touchdowns. Jeffrey, 1,200 yards, 8 touchdowns. If he got 1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns, I'd be okay with that. I mean, that would be pretty good. But I'm not paying him $18 million or over $18 million for 1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns. Favorite player the Eagles drafted this year. My favorite player that the Eagles drafted this year is Sidney Jones. Sidney Jones, even though I think they did it too early, I love Sidney Jones. Now, my dad was talking to me about Sidney Jones, and we were talking about who he compares to, because somebody asked me that the other day, and I had said Marcus Peters, and he had pointed out, and I think it's a good comparison. He said Troy Vincent. He reminds him of Troy Vincent, except for Troy Vincent early, especially in his Miami days, was very fast. But I think it's a very interesting comparison nonetheless. But I would say Sidney Jones is mine, because if he was healthy and the Eagles took him at 13 or 14, whatever they drafted, I would have wanted Sidney Jones. What pick have you changed your opinion on most since the draft? Probably the Mack Hollins. I didn't really know much about him, and everything I've heard from him from the get-go I've liked. Now, I was a big fan of Rasul Douglas' pick, so I was really happy with that. I was very happy about the Gibson pick. Even though he struggled in OTAs, I like what he brings to the table with his speed. But he's going to have to make the team. There's going to be competition. So probably Mack Hollins, I've changed my mind on the most. Nick Foles, I'm right, best backup. Maybe he might be one of the best backups. I like Nick Foles as a backup. It's crazy how some Eagle fans are against Cox and Ertz. Well, I don't know any fans that are against Cox. But, let's face it with Ertz. To me, I don't know why some Eagle fans think Ertz is so great. Because he hasn't come up big yet. I think Ertz got a world of talent. And last year, I guaranteed all these people that Ertz would have a breakout year. And he didn't. So now I'm at wait-and-see mode for Ertz. Ertz is going to have to show me something. You know what I mean? But Cox, I haven't heard anybody say anything about Cox. Green Forest, Ertz had over 800 yards. Yeah, he did. But how many of those yards were in December? I think almost like a lot of it was in December. I want Ertz to do something when it matters. Do something when it matters. I'm sorry. I know you guys like Ertz. I don't get it. I think he's got talent, but he's got to show me something more. Now, I'm rooting for him. I think he's got the talent to do it, but he has to do it. I want him to do it when a game's on the line, when something big is on the line. Give me that. Now, in his defense, yeah, it seems like we're always out of it in December, but that's what I want to see. That's what I want to see from Ertz. I can't just get on the Ertz train anymore. I went all in on Ertz last year, and he burned me. So I'm not getting burnt again. No way am I getting burnt with Ertz. Eagles' biggest strength, their quarterback. Best Eagles player drafted in the first round. Ever? Wow, ever? I don't know. I guess I can go back from when I've been alive. There were some good ones with Jerome Brown. He was a good one. But you probably have to say McNabb, right? I think McNabb, what he did was great. I don't think Reggie was a first-round pick. Reggie came over from the USFL, and the Eagles drafted his rights, I think, but I don't know what round. Donnie Jones, the 12th best punter all time. Yeah, punter. He's a punter. Donnie Jones is a punter. Who cares about the punter? No, I'm just kidding. Donnie Jones is fine, But, Blunt and Jeffrey will dominate. All right, so let's say Jeffrey gets you 8 touchdowns and 1,200 yards. And let's say Blunt gets you 1,200 yards and 10 touchdowns. If you get that from those two guys, we're probably looking at the 2017 division champions. I believe the Cowboys should be more worried about their defense. I also think the Eagles will be around 9-7 or 8-8. I think that's a pretty good prediction for the Eagles in terms of 9-7. That's what I predicted myself. But I'm going to see what happens during preseason. But I think the Eagles are 9-7. I think the Cowboy fans who think that their defense is going to be great because of the draft need to understand that being a cornerback, young cornerbacks, rookie cornerbacks take time to develop. And the Cowboys will struggle and miss the playoffs. Blunt is going to be good, but he's just going to be 1-year rental. Well, it seems like he's a 1-year rental. I don't know. Somebody said something about YouTube. Something. Bring that question back. Prefer Wentz to break his arm or Doug to get fired? Is that Doug get fired? Why would I want Wentz to break his arm? I believe in Wentz. I believe in Wentz so much that I have them 9-7. Now you may think, like when I did that video, to me, that was a positive video for the Eagles. I thought that was pretty positive. For me, a couple months ago, before they signed Blum, I had him at 6 wins. So he went up 3. Jeffrey will chew up Dallas in a second. Yeah, he probably will. Because Dallas' secondary stinks. It stinks. Kevin's not a troll. Kevin's cool. Do you think we split with Dallas this year? Yeah, I think we probably split with Dallas. I do. I think we're going to split with Dallas, and I think we're going to win at home, and maybe that game at home. I think it's going to be one of those situations where if we win and some things happen the last week of the season, we get in. But if it doesn't, we don't. So I think we beat Dallas, and we see how everything falls off, Do you think the Cowboys game away will go into overtime? Sunday, yeah, maybe. Doesn't seem like they always do. I say it doesn't go into overtime, and, we just lose that game. It's just a tough game for us. Even though we're coming off a bye week, Andy Reid used to never lose after a bye week. I think Doug Peterson will. Wentz will take us to the playoffs, and Jeffrey will murder Dallas defense. Also blunt. Hey, that happens. To me, that's a successful season. I mean, I'm telling you, for me, I just want to see this team be in it the last week of the season. And I want to see Wentz progress. Now, I'm talking about Wentz having some pretty good numbers. You don't see second-year quarterbacks throw 30 touchdowns. And I'm saying he's going to get like, 27, 28 touchdowns. How many yards for Jeffrey? I think Jeffrey is going to get like 1,200 yards. I think that's a pretty good area. I think we sweep the Skins and split with the Giants and Cowboys. Interesting. I think we sweep the Giants, Bring one Eagles coach back of all time. I would say Dick Vermeil, Yeah, great chat. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. Hey, Jeff and Philly 500 for next host. Yeah, you let me be the head coach. I would rather be the general manager, I'm not going to lie. Because I want to get rid of some of this Howie Roseman stuff. Get rid of it. I want it gone. You know what I mean? Chip Kelly, yeah, you don't like Chip Kelly, Holly, huh? I didn't want Chip Kelly, actually, when they signed him, but I bought into it after year 1. We need another Reggie White. Oh, man, you ain't kidding, Fish Fool. That guy was something else. He was something else. I think we can finally beat Dallas in Dallas. Yeah, I think it's going to be a tough game. It's possible. Listen, anytime a division team plays each other, I don't care who they are, what the record, they can beat each other. You know what I mean? Most disliked team outside the NFC East. Outside the NFC East, I hate everybody. I don't like anybody. But I probably, I don't know. Seattle kind of gets on my nerves now. They used to not. When they first won, it was nice to see them, but I'm kind of getting a little sick of them. But I hate everybody, really. You know what I mean? You think Josh Norman can lock down all shots? No, I do not. I think Josh Norman is good, but I think he's overrated. And I think that going to Washington, he's overrated. He's good. He's not great. I'm sorry. He had one great year. I don't think he's as good as everybody say. Look, he plays for the Redskins. The Redskins, they don't win nothing ever. Norman is over. Yeah, definitely. Kevin, Norman's done. Yeah, I agree. Jeffrey, yeah, I agree with you guys. I agree, and I think that Norman should have stayed in Carolina. You know what I mean? That's what I think. You're agreeing for it. I'm Eagle fans for life. Good. Take away all the Chip Kelly trades, what would our record be? If you took away his trades, and then let's say you made some adjustments on your offense and how he ran his system, I think they could have been a playoff team. Look, they had too much talent. They had a lot of talent, especially offensively, with Jackson and Macklin and McCoy. Now, let's just say those guys were still here. Let's say they were still here last year. And then you bring a young rookie guy like Wentz with that kind of arm. Man, my gosh, dude, I think they would have gone to the playoffs if they had those guys last year, without a question. It was horrible that Chip did that. What Chip Kelly did to this team, was unforgivable. Yeah, Ertz always gets hurt. Ertz needs to show some strength. He gets knocked off the route. Ever watched Ertz? Watch Ertz run a route. When he gets hit, he falls off his route. Very easy, all the time. Look up I'd have to do that after, my man, because it scrolls up so quick and disappears. I can't keep up with it, and it's so hard to find. But you can ask again. I'll try to read it. Is Shady now the most underrated running back? I don't know. I don't know if he's the most underrated running back, but I think I think a lot of people thought he was done going into last year, and I think he had a pretty good season. So I don't know that he's underrated, but I would have liked to see him stay. Alshon Jeffrey or Dez Bryant? I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I'd take Dez Bryant, Give me Dez Bryant. Dez Bryant's better. I mean, the problem with Alshon is he's not been healthy, guys. He played good a few years ago, but his numbers since then haven't been good. Alshon has to stay on the field, okay? If Alshon stays on the field, I think you're looking at a 1,200, 1,400-yard guy. If Dez Bryant stays on the field, I think he's slightly a little bit better. Who throws more touchdown passes? Prescott, Cousins, Wentz, or Manning? Wentz. Wentz is going to do it. Who wins the Super Bowl first? Dak or Wentz? Carson Wentz. You know what I mean? Now, best quarterback in the NFC East. Now, honestly, Spunky, I'm going to be honest with you with this, because this is going to be a different opinion than other people's opinion, but I don't think you can say Eli Manning's not when he's won 2 Super Bowls. He's got the shortest window. He's on the decline, but he deserves respect, and I think a lot of people don't give him respect for what he's done in the NFL. So I would say out of respect, I would put him, but then after that, I would put Carson Wentz. Eli Manning is elite top 5. I don't know about that. Zach Ertz or Jordan Reed? I would say Jordan Reed. Absolutely. But I'm going to tell you, Ertz has talent. He's just got to, bring it. What is your favorite music genre? I like all music, really. I like rap. I don't like country. I don't like classical. So I would probably say rock. You know what I mean? Who do you want the Eagles to draft? Next year, Saquon Barkley. Jordan Hicks will finally get respect this year. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I like jazz. I like some jazz. I couldn't name a bunch of guys, but I definitely, I think jazz is awesome. I'll tell you my favorite rap group of all time is The Roots. I love The Roots because I saw them at Rutgers University. I didn't even know who they were. They were up and coming young, and they did a free concert. And they came out and they were playing their own instruments, and I've been in love with The Roots ever since. And then I found out that they were actually from Philly, and I didn't know that. I didn't even know who they were. So they are my favorite rap group. Yeah, I love The Roots too, and I kind of feel like they got the jazz kind of sound to them. Do you think Wentz is the next Tom Brady? I don't know if I can go that far because that's saying a lot, but I think Wentz I think he could be a Ben Roethlisberger, Andrew Luck type guy. I think he can be that elite guy. I don't know if anybody is Tom Brady or Peyton Manning or Joe Montana. I think that would be disrespectful to say that. But I think he is a guy that can win you 2 or 3 championships for sure. Do you think Evan Ingram will be an elite tight end in the future? I don't know. I've heard good things about him, but I got to see. Let's see what he does. Jared Goff. Jared Goff. Yeah, really. Oh, O.J. Howard. I love O.J. Howard. I do. We will go 12-0 or 12-4. If we go 12-4, that's a hell of a record. I mean, for a second year, you got to be saying that Carson Wentz is probably the MVP of the league. I mean, 12-4 that's a big turnaround for a second-year quarterback. See, what worries me, and when I did my prediction show, is that when you have so many new guys, right? You have Alshon, and you have Torrey, and you have Blunt, and you have all these new guys that are playing. In the NFL, it takes a long time to get going. It takes time for them to get chemistry, to get used to playing each other. That's why you see these like dream team type teams never win, because they're always out of it by the end of the year because it takes a while to get going. So I think it's going to be a slow start, but I think the Eagles are going to get hot towards the end You know what I mean? That's what I think. Who was the best draft pick this year? I think Sidney Jones was. I love that pick. I really do. Even though I think it was a little early, I like that pick. What about Nelson Aguilar? What do you think about him? Here's what I think about Aguilar. Aguilar has to prove it to me on the field because I think he has talent. I think he can be a very talented, good wide receiver. But the problem with Aguilar is up here. When he makes a mistake, he can't get over it. He can't let it go. And it eats him up and it affects the way he plays. So if Aguilar can actually get over that part of it, he can be good. I also think the Eagles are setting everybody up to let Jordan Matthews go by promoting him and talking about him playing the slot. They're getting you ready already. So that's what I think. Do you think we should sign Branham after the season? For the right amount of money, sure. I mean, if he plays, if he's good, he plays all year. I don't know if he's going to get suspended, but if he plays good and he's affordable, then I would definitely, yeah. All right, buddy, take care. I mean, I would definitely do that. So I would say, yeah. Do you think Zeke will get suspended? No, I do not. I don't think Cowboys get suspended at the fair rate rest of the players in the league do. Cowboys got all the breaks. They got all the ownership and Jerry Jones. He works his magic. That's why you see them get into the Hall of Fame so easy. There's no evidence against Elliott that's just stupid. I don't know what he did, so I don't even know what he did. Do you think the Eagles' defense will be the best in the East? Best in the East? I think the Giants' defense will be the best in the East. I think that the Eagles' defense has the ability to be the second in the East. Jordan Hicks is so underrated, Josh North. So underrated. Totally underrated. Big time underrated. Super underrated. I can't agree with you more. He is going to explode this year. He is going to be a household name when this is done. Pro Bowl, possible Defensive Player of the Year is what I think he can be this year. That's how much I like Jordan Hicks. I think Jordan Hicks is the second best player on this team. I really do. I think Wentz will have a better stats than you predicted because he has a whole off season. Dak had more time to prepare because Romo got injured early. Yeah, he did, but I'm talking, I mean, when you say that, what do you think, 30 touchdowns? I mean, who throws 30 touchdowns in their second season? I don't know of anybody. I don't think Winston did. I don't think Mariota did. I don't think any of those guys did. So it would be kind of unprecedented in my mind. I think to get like 25 to 28, 29 touchdowns, that would be a huge upside. But look, I hope you're right. Ryan Matthews needs to be cut as soon as possible. Agreed. I don't know what's going on. Is he like injured all the time or what? Think about it. Last offseason, he was injured the whole year too. The whole offseason. Now he's injured again. I can't count on Ryan Matthews. I think he will throw for 4,000 yards. The touchdowns are the same. 4,000 yards. If he throws for 4,000 yards, then that would mean that Doug Peterson is actually throwing the ball downfield and running different routes, which would be a total surprise to me because I think we're going to see the same offense early on that we saw last year. I just think that's how Peterson is. So 4,000 yards would be amazing. I would love it. Go Big Blue. Odell and Dez is going to expose Josh Norman. Yeah, and Alshon. Don't leave Alshon out. What about the draft pick from Tennessee? Derek Barnett. Derek Barnett, he's a good player. He's, the Eagles pick, and a lot of people like him, and I'm very hopeful that he will be great. That's all I can say about him. I predict that Dallas locker room will fall apart. 22, 23-year-olds are going to want to party in Dallas. Maybe, you might be right. I mean, you got to think a guy like Witten has to keep them, in line. But Dallas has already got problems with this, right? I mean, they've already got guys suspended. They have Randy Gregory, who he'll drink, smoke, sniff. He'll do whatever if you put it in front of him. Sproles and 34 punter. Coincidence? I think not. Number-wise, you mean? Maybe, maybe not. I'm excited to see Pumphrey, though, because I hear a lot of good things about him. I worry about his size, Best and worst sophomore season, Goff, Prescott, or Wentz? I say Wentz has the best season. I think Goff stays right around where he was, and I think you're going to see a drop from Prescott. But I'm not saying Prescott's going to do bad, but look, we'll see with Prescott. I like Wentz better than Prescott, and I want Prescott to take a beating. Just somebody crush his face in. How will Jason Pierce hold up this year? That's a very good question, Ryan. We don't know. A guy that's 35 years old playing left tackle and not getting hurt is a very hard thing to do. So I don't know. I mean, let's hope that he can hold up. I don't know. It's a tough spot. Players no one is talking about the Eagles you think will have a big year. Big year? I think in the preseason, going into preseason, I think Steven Means is going to surprise everybody. But when you get to the regular season in terms of year, I think Trey Burton is somebody to watch out for. I think he may play a little bit more than people think, and I think Trey Burton may be pretty good. Prescott number will be roughly the same. Yeah, I think he'll definitely have more interceptions. I think he's also going to get sacked more. You know what I mean? Sports Fury, hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Welcome to the show. The Eagles are coming. They're coming. Yeah, Mike, let's go Eagles. Do you need lotion? I do not need lotion. I need a drink of water. I think Vinny Curry will have Vinny Curry is interesting. If you really buy into this thing where he was injured, right? If he was really injured and you buy into it, he may have a year and surprise all of us. I don't know if I buy into what he was saying. I don't know how much the coach even likes him, but it'd be interesting. Wild card this year. I haven't done all that yet. I haven't figured that all out yet. I'm going to do a whole show on that though. You don't like Vinny Curry, huh, Green Forest? Do you think Fletcher Cox will still be locked up this upcoming season? You mean like contract-wise? Yeah, I mean, he's locked long-term. But you do wonder if at some point, if he doesn't put up huge numbers, if they're going to just get rid of him. I mean, I know it sounds like crazy, but he's making like $20 million a year against the cap. So he better have a bounce-back year. I don't think he was bad last year. I just don't think he was as dominant as the year before. So I expect big things from him. I really, really do. I think, we'll see. Favorite all-time Eagle player other than Reggie White. So I'll give you my top three. My top three Eagles of all time. Reggie White. Number 2, Brian Dawkins. Number 3, Randall Cunningham. Who do you compare Wentz to? Sean, I compare Wentz. When I look at Wentz, I see a combination of Ben Roethlisberger and Andrew Luck. And he kind of looks like a mix of that to me. I'll tell you this, like instinctive wise, if you watch him in the pocket sometimes buy time and move around, I think that he has a little bit of that like Aaron Rodgers does, and they need to bring that out more. You see Cam Newton in him? I think Cam Newton is a little bigger, maybe a little faster. I see Cam Newton as a guy that can run that read option. I don't think Wentz should run that read option. I don't think he can run that read option. So, I don't know. I think in terms of stature, yeah, but, I don't know. Gregory, do you see Eli? No, I do not, because this is Eli, right? Eli, I see a deer in headlights with Eli. That's Eli Manning to me, Holly, Cam Newton is overrated. He'll be gone, but I don't think Cam Newton is overrated. I think the problem with Cam Newton is that he takes too many hits and too much of a beating. And that is why if he finished early, it would be because he takes too many hits. Not Eagles related, but what young quarterback do you compare to Eli? Jared Goff. Hey, Philly Fiver, I'm a big fan, bro. I'm watching you taking a dump right now. Hey, great. Do what you got to do, man. What Eagles role player makes the biggest impact and breaks out into a star this year? Jordan Hicks. Jordan Hicks is going to be a star this year. I believe big time. I believe big time, You think Winston, really? You think Winston reminds you of Eli Manning? From a passing standpoint, I don't know. Mariota does not remind me of Eli. Who reminds me of Eli? I don't know. When I think of Eli, I'll tell you what. I think Eli, when he came in his rookie year, and I guess the Eagles were winning, and Warner was a starter, And I'll never forget the shot he took. And I don't know if it was Trotter who, you guys remember who gave him that shot? It was such a shot. And to me, when Eli plays the Eagles, as soon as you get pressure on him, he folds. Jerome McDougal really bothered me. Gerald, Big Ho, I'm hungry. Hollywood, what's up? Running quarterbacks never last long. Well, they don't unless they can transition. You have to be able to transition into, a pocket passer, or at least learn to pick your spots. You look at Steve Young was able to do that. I think Randall Cunningham was able to do that when he went to Minnesota. If you can do that, you'll be fine. Even McNabb learned to do that. But I don't agree with some of them when they just refuse to run. I think you should always keep it, as a weapon to use. Dawkins hit him. Yeah, Dawkins, no, he came in and it was a linebacker. I think it was Trotter. And he just blindsided him and crushed his face in. It was great. Oh, was it Jerome McDougal? Really? You mean he did something? Ugh, that guy. Preseason MVP. Steven Means. Gregory, for all you Eli haters, how many rings McNabb got? Well, okay. I mean, look, I'm not an Eli hater. I give Eli respect that I said that he should be considered the number one quarterback in the division because of those 2 Super Bowls. But if we're going to go that route, Eli stinks. Okay. Look, Eli is at the end. His window is closing. That's why they had to do what they did. But I'll tell you what. That's a dangerous team. I think the Giants are a dangerous team. Not because I think they're going to sit there and they're going to get I don't think the Giants are going to necessarily get 14-2 and be dominating everybody in the first seed in the playoffs. I think the Giants are one of those dangerous teams that they get in the playoffs and they can win on the road. And Eli, I don't know, for some reason, he can come up in those big moments. And that's what I get scared of with the Giants. Because the Giants can win on the road in the playoffs. They've shown that they can do it before. I think the Patriots are that 14-2 team. Yeah, the Patriots are scary good again. And I'm telling you, I'm a big Brandon Cooks fan. I wanted Brandon Cooks so bad. I wanted Brandon Cooks. And they got him. And it just, you don't know how it pissed me off. I was mad that day. I appreciate Smarillus. Thank you. I appreciate that, buddy. Their defense can make up for the problems the Giants have. Yeah, their defense is very good. Tom Brady is Satan himself. Well, look, Tom Brady may work for Satan, but there's the thing. When the Dallas Cowboys take the field, they have the logo of Satan. They are satanic. And anybody that knows stuff about them, they know they are Satan themselves. The Dallas Cowboys, Satan's team. Jeffrey likes Rasul Douglas, says he can play. Yeah, I heard that, Holly. I believe he can play too, and I think he's going to be good. But I think those rookie corners will struggle this year. Brady is the GOAT. Fishful. Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with it. Now, me personally, I think of Joe Montana, but you can't argue with Tom Brady. No way. Patriots is Illuminati? Maybe, but the Dallas Cowboys are the guy who created the Illuminati. Kevin, GOAT equals... I don't know. Not for me, Kevin. Most disliked team in our division. Boy, I hate them all. I would say the Giants from a team standpoint of the team. I would say Dallas with its fans that drive me absolutely nuts during the season. So that's how I would say it. No, Pats are just cheaters. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, look, what happened with that whole thing was really bad. That was really bad. And they got off easy. I know they gave a first-round pick, but you got to wonder about that Eagles game. The Eagles go in, they kind of had the momentum. The Eagles should have beat them in the Super Bowl. The problem why they lost in the Super Bowl was because they didn't score points. They got turnovers early. McNabb had Westbrook wide open, and he missed them. The Eagles should have took a lead going into the, to halftime with a pretty good lead. Now, I think that when they came out, it was like the Patriots knew everything the Eagles were going to do. It was kind of weird. Eagles need to start 2-1 at least to help with my confidence. Yeah, I think the first game is a big game. I think the first 2 games are like, I think the Kansas City game is hard because I believe it's hard to win there. And then I believe that the Giant game at home, you have to be a must win. And then that Redskins a must win. And I also think the Chargers are very underrated, and I think that's a hard place to play. A lot of people don't, but I do, you know. Do you see any surprise late in camp or pre-camp signings? If a surprise vet comes from another team position, we'd love to. I would say if there's a surprise cut, I always think it's possible. I mean, you got to give Howie Roseman credit for one thing, was that he got Bradford traded. That was a big deal. So you can always take advantage of injuries. So yeah, it's possible. And if I could choose one position where that could happen, I would like to see a corner with experience that could come in and play. You think Kirk Cousins will have up and down season for the rest of his career? No, not for the rest of his career. I actually kind of like Cousins. I think he could be like a Trent Green type guy. But I think that the problem with Cousins is this year is he wants out of Washington. So I think his head's gonna be somewhere else. I think the team having their leader head somewhere else. I think the Redskins stink, and I think he ends up in San Francisco. You know, that's what I think. Alshon is better than Dez, Ryan. He has to prove that to me. What do you think about Eagles maybe signing Jason McCourty? I don't know. I haven't heard anything. I'm not opposed to it though. Is Sammy Watkins going to have a bounce back year? I think he does have a bounce back year. Yes, I do. I think he's going to have a bounce back year. I agree Cousins is going to San Francisco. Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense if you really think about it. If you really, really think about it, it makes a lot of sense. McCourty to the Giants, yeah, I could see that too. The Browns side, oh, they did? Okay. Redskins are so messed up, the quarterback doesn't even want to play for them. Jesse, I mean, that is truth. I mean, your quarterback doesn't want to play for you. And he didn't play bad. He ain't going to be the greatest quarterback ever, but he could be a quarterback that could win games if you have a team built around him. He could do that. And the fact that he wants out and he won't sign with them, that is so bad. That is horrible. How can you as a player believe you even have a chance if your quarterback wants out? He wants out. He just wants out. So that tells you all you need to know. The Redskins are going to get flushed down the toilet. I think they're going to have to get rid of the quarterback. I think they're going to get rid of the coach. And the Redskins are going to be in the same mess that they're always in. And I feel bad. I actually feel bad for the Redskin fans. I want them to get good again because they're quiet. You don't even hear from Redskin fans. When I was growing up, Redskin fans were boisterous. They loved their team. And I know there's a lot of good Redskin fans out there. But they're embarrassed and they're beaten down. And telling you, they need to come back. We need to get that team reinvigorated so we can have good rivalries. The Skins are effed up like super. Yeah, I agree. Redskins are dumpsters. They really are. Philly 500 Giants said they aren't getting any cornerbacks. Honestly, I'll be surprised if they do. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the Giants are planning. I just know that I think that the Giants' defense is pretty good. I think the Giants probably wanted LeGarrette Blount, and I think the Eagles snagged him away. I think that was good. So I think the Giants, to me, I question their offensive line and I question their running game. And those are going to be the issues for the Giants. You know, because look, when you get pressure on Eli Manning and you bang him around a little bit, you bang him, he goes down, he crumbles. We will own the Cowgirls and the Redskins. I love it. I love the confidence. Let's crush them both. Eli has 2 years left. Yeah, I agree. I think he has 2 years left too. I think that's about right. Do you think the Cowboys are still America's team? They never were. They never were. They're Satan's team. Look, I'm going to tell you the truth. The Eagles are America's team, right? The birthplace of America was in Philly, right? So that's it. That's where they signed the Declaration of Independence, all that stuff. So Philly's America's team. Dallas, they're Satan's team. They've sold themselves to the devil. And now they're going to pay. Do we trade anyone before the start of the season? I think Jason Kelce has a slight chance to be traded. I think that he has a slight chance. Cowboys and Giants should be the most hated team. I agree. Eagles got a lot better this offseason. On paper, they got a lot better. But we don't know until they go and play. My concerns with the Eagles are not this year. My biggest concerns are this coming off season, going into year 3. That is what worries me, because we could potentially be starting all over. I don't want to start all over again. Do you want to start all over? If we lose all these guys, we're going. Yes, sir, we are America's team. Jason Garrett is not a real head coach. He won Coach of the Year, didn't he? You forgot our logo is a bald eagle, the nation's bird. Hey, there you go. Carson Wentz throws 32 touchdowns or more, Eagles will win 12 games. Yeah, without question. I think if he throws that much, he not only that, he'll be the MVP of the league. Think about this for a moment. Talk about Dallas. Philly is where the birthplace of the nation, where freedom and liberty come. Dallas is where presidents go to die. Come on, who's America's team? Please. It ain't Dallas, it's Philly. We just need a couple titles. If we had a couple rings, we could say it. You know what I mean? That's the truth. You prefer Garrett only won 4 games. Yeah, I know. Look, Garrett got a good running back, a beast of a running back, and a quarterback that played pretty good, and a great offensive line. And he rode that to throughout the whole year. But then they choked in the playoffs. They choked. Dallas dominance, Dallas Super Bowl days are over. It's time to pay the piper now. That's what happens when you sell your soul to the devil. That's how I see it. Cowboy fans there's 2 types of Cowboy fans. There's real Cowboy fans from Dallas, which I really don't know any. And then there's all the other ones who just love Dallas because they were on TV all the time. Most valuable sports franchise, DJ. Yeah, probably is Dallas. That's true. Dallas has a lot of influence. There's no question about it. They've got money, they've got influence, and you got to give it to them. You know what I mean? Sadly, my whole family are Dallas fans. I feel bad for you. Cowboy show. Yeah, that's true, Rad. That's true. What is your Cowboys record prediction? I don't have an exact prediction right now, but I do think they're going to finish behind the Eagles. So if I had the Eagles at 9-7, I have the Cowboys no better than 9-7 with a tie-break loss to the Eagles. How many sacks will we have on Prescott? Will we have on Prescott or all year? Who has the craziest fans? We have the craziest fans. We have it, and we should be happy that we have it. We should wear that as a badge of honor. I wear it as a badge of honor. When people go, them crazy Eagle fans, look at those stupid crazy Philly fans. I take that with pride. I love it. I love that. I love it, and we need more of it. Wentz is showing great leadership at such a young age. He really is. He doesn't sound like a guy that's 24. That's for sure. That's for sure. Rad movie guys. Eagles 11-5, Cowboys 9-7. Man, if the Eagles go 11-5, that's so hard for me to imagine that. If the Eagles go 11-5, I got a problem. Because here's the thing. And I'm not saying, I can deal with it, but think about it. I don't believe in the coach. But if they go 11-5, there's no chance he's gone. He has to come back. Even though I hate you people, you guys are the most devoted fan base. Thanks, Gregory. Appreciate that. Will we have on Prescott? I think we're going to sack him a total of 7 times in 2 games. That's what I think. I think 7, 3 and 4. How about that? We just beat the crap out of him. Wentz will carry the team, not Peterson. Yeah, that's true. But do you think that they'll sit there and say, you know what, Doug Peterson, you went 11-5. Wentz carried the team, but you went 11-5. You got to go. I don't see that happening. I don't. Harbaugh for coach. Yeah, I want John Harbaugh to come back to Philly. I didn't like when he left. I think he's a great coach, and I would have him come back. I would love to have him come back. If they're 11-5 and the coach is doing something right, so it's a good thing, you would want him back. Yeah, if they go 11-5, he has to come back. I have my doubts on Doug Peterson. There's no question, but I'm giving him a chance. I'm going to give him a clean slate, second-year chance, and we'll go from there. But I don't believe in him. But I'm going to give him a chance. I think the Giants will finish 3rd in division. Eagles fan, wow. That would be something because they would have to just tear the whole thing up at that point. If they finish like that, it's time for them to just rebuild. Man, that would be something, wouldn't it? As long as Dallas doesn't win the division. I don't want to hear Dallas win the division. You know what I mean? John Harbaugh. John is Baltimore, right? Baltimore. If we can't get John Harbaugh, then we'll take Jim Harbaugh. I don't know if I want Jim Harbaugh, but I'll take John. You know, so did EDP? I don't know. I heard some things about that, but I don't know anything about it really, to be honest with you. I wish him the best, and hopefully, whatever he's doing he'll be back for his fans soon. I mean, I don't have a problem with anybody. So, when seems perfect, something's fishy. Just when seems perfect, something's yeah. I don't know. I mean, Wentz does seem perfect, but look, he's got to go and he's got to show that he can take that next step. You got to do it on the field, He's going on a hiatus for 3 months, but he has a new channel. Okay, well that's good. But why is he taking a hiatus on going to a new channel? Just stay on this channel he's on. I don't understand. Is his channel shut down? I don't know. I don't know. I watch some of his post game reactions, but that's about it. I don't watch normally on the other stuff. His channel. Well, what did he do? What did he do? Why are people flagging him because they don't like him? Any good weed in the East? I don't know. I don't smoke weed, dude. The last time I smoked weed, this was years and years ago, before I was married, had kids. The last time I smoked weed, I was at Rutgers University, and I thought that my shadow was the FBI chasing me. And I literally was trying to run from my shadow all night because I thought the FBI was after me. I'm not kidding. And literally, I felt my feet grow, and the FBI was chasing me, and my shadow was the FBI. And you know what? Dude, I couldn't get away from my shadow all night. So I'm not a big weed fan because it makes me too crazy. It makes me too paranoid. Give me a couple beers, I'm good, But weed makes me paranoid. What Eagles starter is going to give you the most headaches this year? What Eagles starter is going to give me the most headaches? Jason Kelce, probably. Definitely. You should tell us your funny experience. Yeah, I'll tell you all stuff. Yeah, I did beer bongs before. I love how you were honest. That's the truth, Who are your picks for the Super Bowl? I don't know yet. I'm not ready to do it, but probably New England out of the AFC. But I'm Oakland may be in there. Zeke told the Cowboy fans to F off just because he wanted a picture. Really? Well, you know what? That's rotten. If he did that, then that's rotten. I don't like players that do things like that. I really don't. I think that's horrible. We would have done well last season, but all those holding calls. Yeah, Jason Kelce has to hold. He has to hold, and he has to do, a lot of times you ever see a center have more bad snaps than him? He does it because he's trying to get a jump, an early start to get the leverage because he's so small. He's just too small for me. I mean, that's the truth, and that's what I think, I got one, ain't going nowhere. You got, great. That his actual channel, he rants all the time. That's his channel, he rants all the time. Well, hey, to each their own, right? I like all the Eagles players, all seem down to earth. They do. They all seem like good guys. I'll give you that. Giant fans are irritating. Yeah, Giant fans can be very irritating. Giants kind of feel like they're almost like they're your bigger brother. They can tell you what to do. They got something on you because they got rings and you don't. Jason is, I think Jason Kelce's too small. Hey, well, it is all good. The only good Giant fans is Pizzle. Most disliked Eagles player ever. Boy, I don't know. That's a good one because there's some guys I really did not like at all. But I was not a Ty Detmer fan. I really hated Ty Detmer, and I just could not stand his face. And when he was doing all that stuff with the belt and stuff with Favre, that really irritated me. Saints going all the way to the Super Bowl. Yeah, in your dreams. I think in my smart making videos on my thoughts on the Eagles, I have no Eagle fans to talk to in LA. Go for it, buddy. I will watch your show. I'll definitely be watching. Speak your mind. It's good to rant sometimes. I like it because I can rant and I can yap and yap and yap, Giants defense is so putrid, so mad that we haven't done much to address this. I don't think the Giants D is putrid. What do you mean? I think McNabb is overrated. Also, Andy. Well, look, you don't go to 5 championship games, even though that they lost, when you overrated. I don't think McNabb's overrated at all. I don't know if McNabb is a Hall of Famer, though. I'll say he's right on the line, right on the border, but I don't think he was overrated. Did you see Wentz photo, a wide receiver in front? Looked like Alshon was wearing a Bears hat. No, I did not notice it. I did not see it. But if he's wearing a Bears hat, I kind of don't like that. Will you ever expand your channel to non-Eagles content? Yes, I will. There are so many Eagle fans to help you. Yeah, I will definitely do it. I would definitely want to do a lot more. I have a lot of plans. I need to start learning more about the editing stuff and the small things that I don't know much of. But yeah, I plan on growing it with other things, definitely. Get ready for a wild card. Hey, look, wild card would be awesome. I would love a wild card. Vernon is coming back from a broken hand. JP is going down. Look, I think the Giants' defensive ends are really good. I think the safety is really good. I think the Giants' defense is really, really good. Definitely, I think that they are. He's really good, but not Hall of Famer. Carson will throw 4,000 yards this year. Yeah, who's not a Hall of Famer? You think McNabb's not a Hall of Famer? I think McNabb is probably not a Hall of Famer. If he wins that Super Bowl, I would put him in, but I don't think he is. I will say this. Randall Cunningham is a Hall of Famer to me because Randall Cunningham changed the position. He changed how you play it, how teams, what kind of guys they want to play, the guys that can run and move the ball. I think Cunningham deserves to go to Hall of Fame because of the way he changed the position of quarterback. So I would definitely say he should go. I don't think McNabb will go, though. I don't think he should. I think Brian Dawkins also changed the position at safety, and I think when you change the position, you deserve to get in to a Super Bowl. I definitely do. So that's what I would say about those guys. Get J.J. Watt for defense. How are we going to get J.J. Watt? I don't know. If we could do that, it would be great. Well, our cornerbacks let us down this season. I don't think that they're going to let us down, but I think people are expecting way too much from them. You're talking about second-year guy. You're also talking to me about a rookie because I believe Russell Douglas starts. I think that when you have a rookie corner, he's going to learn a lot. He's going to get burned a lot, and you don't know how they're going to respond to that. So I think the expectations on the corners this year are way unfair already. And I don't think that they're going to let us down. I just think that they have expectations that are probably too high. This is why we need Revis. For the right price, you want Revis, fine. Some people don't want Revis because when they get Revis, they have to accept that this is a one-year thing. And some people believe that even though we did all these one-year deals, we're building something for the long term. To me, we're not building anything long term yet. I hope we do. When we sign guys or re-sign guys, then we will. But as of now, we haven't. So that's kind of how I see it. But look, if you want to get Revis and he wants cheap, at this point, why not? I only want Revis because he can teach our young corners for a long term. Yeah, he can teach them, I guess. But, that's what you have coaches for, too. If you get Revis or bring him in, you start him at corner. But he stunk last year. He stinks now. He's old. So I don't know that Revis comes in. I have no idea. Maybe trade for Sherman. I wouldn't trade for Sherman. Because Sherman, you're going to have to... I think he's got, a year or two left? You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. Coaches can only do so much when they're not playing. That's true, Brad. That is definitely true, Cowboys fan think you're best. I didn't hear. It was a long thing. It went quick. Sherman too old for here, not for long haul. No, I don't want him for long haul. What would we have to give up? Like a first-round pick? Couple first-round picks? No way. 3 players the Eagles gave up on too. 3 players the Eagles gave up on too soon. I thought Keith Jackson back in the day. He was one. I think they gave up. I look at it like they gave up on T.O. because they didn't want to pay him the money. And you shouldn't have given him up after that second year. He should have worked it out. And I definitely was pissed off about that. Sherman doesn't even like Russell Wilson. Well, that's their problem. Maybe they'll hate each other and they'll fight. And you know what? We'll go into Seattle and we'll pull it off and beat them. I'm so sick of Seattle. I got to tell you, I'm sick of Seattle Seahawks. I mean, look, Russell Wilson's good. Their defense was good, but I'm sick of them. I really am. McNabb hates you. That's the reason. Too bad. McNabb needed to get over it. McNabb couldn't go anywhere until he had T.O. Kiko Alonso and Maxwell, but we went, so whatever. I don't like, even though Kiko Alonso had a better year, I still don't like him. I think Rasul was a legit, and Sydney also. Don't sleep on Rasul. Nobody. I'm not sleeping on Rasul. I love Rasul. I think he's going to be very good. But the problem is, when you start a rookie the first year, he has a lot of he has to learn. He's going to make mistakes. That's all I'm saying. He's got to get through those mistakes and that learning curve. When he does that, he will become good. People always say, well, remember Lito Shepherd, remember Sidney Jones. But the thing with those guys, not Sidney Jones, Lito Shepherd and Sheldon Brown, remember, those guys sat a whole year before they played, So that's the way it goes. Biggest miss in the draft. Look, there's a lot of misses. But the one that I, have been affected by the most is not getting Earl Thomas. I knew that was the pick. Everybody in the world knew that was the pick. And the Eagles didn't get him. So I have to say, not getting Earl Thomas to me is a big problem and a big miss that I have not fully recovered. Thank you, Fish. I appreciate that. Biggest miss this year. Mine would be Mixon. Well, the thing with Mixon is they didn't want him because of moral reasons, which I thought were a little bit unfair because, look, I believe people always deserve a second chance. But, I can't blame them for that. You know what I mean? I would have taken Mixon at the second right there. But a lot of teams passed up on him. For me, it was O.J. Howard. That O.J. Howard, to me, I think is going to be a monster. Take one player from every NFC East team to the Eagles. Who are they? So let's see. If from the Giants, give me Landon Collins. For the Redskins, give me Jordan Reed. And from Dallas, give me Dez Bryant. And I think I'm good. We have a few players who are dealing with law breaking. Who's dealing with law breaking? What? I don't know. What do you mean? But, yeah, Dez Bryant for Dallas. Zeke. Yeah, maybe Zeke. I forgot about Zeke. Bobby, I agree. I'll change it to Zeke. Love you, but I think we will win our last 4 games. I think I had them winning their last 4 games. What do you mean? I have them 9-7. I have them winning their last 4 games. They're going to run at the end of the year. Don't I had them beating the Rams, the Giants, the Raiders, and Dallas. I had them winning 4 in the last 4 in a row. Frederick, you're forgetting about him. Yeah, I forgot about Zeke, and I'm wrong. So I would take Zeke Elliott, Jordan Reed, and Landon Collins for the Giants if I could take 3 guys from the NFC East and bring them. So that's my bad. I'm sorry. My bad. But I would definitely do that. Yeah. I don't know. Let me get a drink here. Zeke Elliott is a beast. I wanted him. I say Zeke from Dallas, Jenkins from the Giants, and Pryor for the Redskins. Yeah. Actually, thinking about it, give me Beckham from the Giants. Give me Zeke from the Cowboys and Jordan Reed. That's how I would do it. Sherman, Revis, Jenkins would be great. Revis was really bad last year, right? And what are you going to give up for Sherman? What are they going to want? First round pick? I'm not giving them a first round. I'm not giving them a second round pick for Sherman. I'm sorry, I'm not. I don't want to do that. Here's the question. Do you think that Sherman makes you a Super Bowl team this year? I don't. So I don't want him. I'm not going to give up my draft picks for him. No way, no whams, if, buts, whatever. I'm not doing it. No way. NFC East should be fun because anybody can win this year. Yeah, Philly podcast, I agree. It's going to be fun. It's going to be, I think, 3 teams that are pretty good. And look, the NFC East can go anyway. Isn't there some ridiculous statistic where like no team has won that division 2 years in a row in like a long time? I don't know why nobody would pick Cook. I didn't get it. It went. What would you be willing to give up to get Barkley? I would give up a first and a third. It depends. Okay, so let's say we're 20, right? And let's say he falls to 10. So let's say he falls to 10 and we're picking 20. I would give up probably a first round pick. Can you answer, how do you set up a live stream? I'm only doing it through my phone where you just hit the live stream and then it does it. I try to do it on my computer, but it's very hard and I haven't figured it out yet, to be honest with you. How do you think Jenkins will do against the Cowgirls? I think he'll do fine. I mean, you talking about Malcolm Jenkins? I think he'll do fine. But, I mean, to me, it's that defensive line. Who is Barkley? Saquon Barkley from Penn State, the running back. He's a stud, going to be a monster. You know what I mean? I didn't do it through Safari on YouTube. I haven't done it that way at all. I've only done it through my phone because it's already there on the app. That's the only way I've done it, so I don't know how to the other way. By the way, Phils are up 1-0. That's good. I wouldn't use a first-round pick on a running back. Yeah, a lot of people feel like that you shouldn't spend that kind of pick on a running back. But I think he's that good. And if you look at the impact that Zeke Elliott made for the Cowboys, I would definitely maybe consider. But let's see what Barkley does this year. You know what I mean? Let's see what he does next year. What pick do we have next year? We don't know yet, really. We have a first, but we don't know where. They're the most injury-prone players on the O-line. Yeah, that's true, Jesse. I mean, a lot of people think like you, and I don't totally disagree. But when a special one comes, when a special guy comes, I think you have to take him. So I would definitely take Barkley in a second. Maybe not a first. Let's see what he does. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have given 2 first rounds for like Fournette this year or anything like that. And I love Leonard Fournette. Other good college running backs, if we can't get Barkley. There's a few, but my whole set for the first round is Barkley. If I can't get Barkley, I'm probably not going to take a running back in the first. Who will give Dez a hard time this season from our defense? From our defense? Dez? I don't know. I can't say either the corners will. Maybe Malcolm Jenkins hits him or something like that, but I don't know that anybody will. Barkley is going to be a legit player. I think so. Fournette is going to have a down year with Jags. Rad movie guy. Maybe. I think Leonard Fournette's going to win Rookie of the Year. I think that Leonard Fournette with that Jag team and that offense is going to turn that team into a possible wild card. I think the Jags are going to be in it for a wild card. They're going to surprise people. I think they're going to be able to run the ball with him. Foles looks like Napoleon. He does. How he does. It really does. That's who my wife thought he was when she saw him the first time. It was hilarious. She said, why did the Eagles have Napoleon Dynamite on the team? It's true. He really does. So, yeah, I mean, look, anything can happen. You never know how the season's going to turn out, especially in college. I mean, what happens if Barkley has a bad year? We may change our mind. Cowboys would be so much better if they didn't have a clown for a coach and could avoid suspensions. But then they wouldn't be the Cowboys. You know what I mean? You wouldn't hate them. You don't want to like the Cowboys. You want to hate the Cowboys. So when they do those things, it helps fuel that fire. It helps you hate them more. That's how I see it. So let them get suspended. Let them worship the devil. Let them do all the things that they do because they stink. Dawkins to become a secondary coach. I don't know if he would. You know what I mean? If Barkley has a worse season, he could drop better for us. Yeah, that's possible. It always happens. And look, I always think that teams are always looking to get a running back and not take a running back early. So any excuse for a running back to drop, the NFL seems to like that. So it could happen. It is bad. I feel like Wentz would get injured this year. You really think that he's going to get hurt? Oh, don't say that. No, I mean, there's no reason. We don't have to think that. I'm not going to think like that. I really like Matt Barkley coming out of college. What happened? I think he had a bad shoulder. I think he hurt his shoulder. He never got his strength back. You know what I mean? That's what I think. I don't think he ever recovered because his arm was. He had no arm in pros. He had nothing on it. Yeah, no, Ryan, I don't think so. Maybe in baseball, Wentz won't get. He will dominate. I agree. I think Wentz is going to be an MVP candidate. That's what I think. I really believe that. I think he'll be an MVP candidate when this is all said and done. He might not win it, but I think he's going to be in the discussion. Who will have a better season, Jeffrey or Blunt? Fox Twins. Good question. I'm going to say Jeffrey. Ryan, yeah, I know it was a joke. I'm going to say Jeffrey. I think Jeffrey, I got this feeling Jeffrey is going to have a huge year because he's got a 1-year deal and he wants the big money. And I think that the injuries are going to be behind him. He's had them. He's dealt with them. And it's time to move on. And I'm going to put my faith that he's going to have a big year. When will we become a legit Super Bowl threat? I think right now we're 2 to 3 years away. If we let too many guys go after this year, it could be 3 to 4 years. If we have guys that produce and we bring guys like Alshon back, I think you're looking at 2 to 3 years. If Wentz takes some huge upswing, then it could be even quicker than that. Alshon and Wentz will take us to Super Bowl. I hope so. One day, I think it's possible. I think Wentz is winning Super Bowls. He just looks like he's got that demeanor, like he expects to win. He knows he's going to win, and it's going to happen. And you just put the ball in his hands and let it happen. That's why I was so angry last year in that Baltimore game when they didn't go for the field goal after he drove them all the way down the field, tied it up, was feeling good about himself. Then they let them go for 2, not get it, and then all we talked about all week was not getting the 2 point. I want Wentz to have a lot of confidence, and I think he still does, and I think he'll be fine. I think this year, I think Wentz is gonna start off a little slow. I think the whole team will, but he's gonna get hot at the end. We got to win now. Our O-line is only getting older, and also that D. So Eagles fan 12, you think that the Eagles are in a win now mode, and that the Eagles can win now. And then basically, it's now or bust, or we got to start all over. And we only have a second-year quarterback. I don't think we're in win-now mode. In the first Dallas game that cost us the game. Yeah, it did. And I'm talking specifically when Wentz in the fourth quarter drove the Eagles back against Baltimore. And it was one of those moments where you have a young rookie quarterback who had an opportunity to gain confidence and feel good about himself. And then they go for the 2-point conversion. And when they go for the 2-point conversion, they don't get it. So everybody, instead of saying, yo, this quarterback came back in the fourth, what did they say? Oh, he didn't get the 2-point. It was horrible. That's why I didn't like it. Blunt will break ankles. Wentz will give the defense a headache. I agree. I think the Blunt signing was huge. I think that is good for 2 to 3 wins. Peterson needs to stop with the stupid fourth down calls. One of them, yeah, I agree. I don't like the I don't mind fourth down calls when, certain times. Here's my thing is I think that Peterson uses his aggressiveness wrong. He goes for it like on fourth downs and stuff like that. And then when it comes to like play calling, he's extra conservative. I want to see him open it up and be, go for it a little more and take chances on plays and not so much on fourth downs. Our defense is pretty young, not old. Well, yeah, I agree. The interesting thing with the Eagles is the Eagles going to let Brandon Graham walk after this year? I just read an article on NewJersey.com saying that the Eagles they might cut him at the end of this year because they're already putting Barnett in his spot. Can you imagine? You waited all these years for him to be good. He has 5.5 sacks. Everybody think he's great. And then he comes out and you're going to cut him the year after? I want to see him get double-digit sacks. But apparently they might cut him. They might cut Brandon Graham for Derek Barnett. I knew they thought Derek Barnett was a carbon copy of Brandon Graham. With Jeffrey, we finally have a big target we haven't had since Owens. Well, yeah, but the thing with Owens was Owens had more speed than Jeffrey. Owens ran, I think, better routes than Jeffrey. I think Owens was a better receiver than Jeffrey. I like Jeffrey. He's got to stay healthy. I can see around 6 to 8 sacks for Barnett this season. Rad, if he got 6 to 8 sacks, I would be very happy with that. For a rookie to get 6 or 8 sacks, yeah, I think that would be very good. I'd be very happy with that. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Definitely. I think, we'll see. We'll see how much he plays. But I also think that Brandon Graham needs at least 10. Last season, we the Eagles had so many flags unless we don't refs are back. Yeah, refs hate us. Why do they hate us? Keep Graham if possible. You need multiple pass rushers. Well, I agree. This is just what I read. I don't know how much truth there is, but there's some problem with his contract. He wants more money. Barnett has a lot of players around him to give him one-on-one. Yeah, that's true. And also, just to keep it honest, one of the things with him is that he sat there. I'm sorry, I forgot what I was saying. Okay, one of the things with Brandon Graham, I don't know what I said. I forgot. Who do you think will have a better season, Smallwood or Pumphrey? I think Smallwood will have more opportunities. I think as long as Sproles is there, you're going to see not a lot of Pumphrey. You may see him on special teams, but we'll see. Eric Flowers making me laugh my ass off. Why? What did he do now? Wentz rushed for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns last year. You see more rushings from touchdowns. I don't know. I don't mind if it's in scrambling, but I don't want to see it the other way. Pumphrey is apparently going to play wide receiver, so I don't know. Yeah, I'm not too caught up in that whole thing. He's going to play wide receiver. Just because they play around with it in OTAs and that kind of thing, that doesn't mean he's going to. But look, if he can do it, if they can move him around and utilize him like that kind of guy, that's only to our advantage. As a Giant fan, I hate Flowers. I hope he gets better, but Eli could actually die this season. Eli's going down this year. Eli's going to get hurt. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know if he's going to get hurt. I wouldn't want him to get hurt, but I think the Eagles will beat the crap out of Eli. Graham is elite according to player fan. Yeah, I understand that they said that, Holly, but I don't agree with what they say when it comes to that, because I don't agree he's elite. Wouldn't they want Pumphrey to get reps where he will play? Maybe, but who are you going to take out? Who are you taking out to put him there? You're going to take out Jordan Matthews to put him there? I mean, I don't know if that's good either. Look, if you think he can play and go and contribute and help, I say do it. But I mean, you got to bring in a guy. You got to take a guy out. So who are you taking out to put in Pumphrey's? That's what I want to know. Are you going to go 4 wide receivers or what? Are you going to go 3 wide receivers? I mean, how are you going to use them? I mean, look, why not use Sproles like that? Look, if Sproles was last year, use Sproles as much as possible. Use him as much as possible. If he's retiring after this year or if it's it for him, use him as much as possible. Relief for Jordan Matthews. I want Ryan or D. Westbrook instead of him. Yeah, well, Dallas loves Switzer. That's all I hear them talking about is how good he is. He's going to be rookie year. You hear a lot of things about it. I don't agree. I think Leonard Fournette will be the rookie of the year. I think Mike Williams is also in the conversation, as well as Corey Davis, my man, who I wanted. That was who I wanted really bad. I can't believe he went so early, though. Couldn't believe it, Try and guess how many hats you have. You probably couldn't guess. Switzer is Cole Beasley on steroids. Yeah, DJ, that's what everybody's saying in Dallas. They really are high on this guy. I've heard people think that he's rookie year. So, hey, we're going to find out. Cowboys overhype everyone just because they have a star in there. The Sauce, 84. You know what, Sauce? I agree that if you're a Dallas Cowboy player, you're 10 to 15% better than what you would be if you had another jersey on all the time. Sean, bring back Barry Switzer, Dallas. In a second, bring that dope back. He's a dingbat. Switzer is a poor man's Pumphrey. Well, I don't know. I mean, no, I don't know. I don't know. I think you guys expect a lot out of Pumphrey. I just don't know if I agree. Barnett, 7 sacks. Jernigan, 7 sacks. Cox, 6.5 sacks. Grand's 10.5 sacks. Long, 3 sacks. Curry, 5. Holly, if that happens, the Philly 500 is going to get on here, and I'm going to do an apology in a suit, in a tie, and all that stuff, and I'm going to do an apology on air and apologize to Brandon Graham for saying that he stinks. I'm going to have to, because that would shut me up. 10.5 sacks would shut me up. I would have to say that I was wrong about him. That's, look, he gets 10.5 sacks. You're going to hear me eat crow like nobody ever ate crow before, because I did a lot of talking. What is your opinion of Jeffrey Lurie? Jeffrey Lurie, to me, I think he wants to win. I think he wants to be like the New England Patriots, right? He wants to be that. But I think his problem is that he doesn't let football guys run the team and have run the front office. You think about the Andy Reid days, right? You had, what was that guy? What was it? Joe Banner. Joe Banner wasn't a football guy. And Joe Banner made some decisions that I believe cost the Eagles a Super Bowl. If the Eagles go out and get a wide receiver, couple free agents, when they were running those championship games before T.O., the Eagles win a Super Bowl. They let Trotter walk. They go play Tampa Bay in the championship game, and guess what happens? They let him walk, and they let Trotter go, and it kills us. So I think Banner cost the Eagles. I think Howie Roseman has hurt us. So I think Lurie wants to win. I think he tries. I think he cares. But I want him to bring in football guys to run football operations. Me and my friend had a debate on who's the best Eagles coach. He said Andy Reid. I said, buddy, who's the best, even though Andy has more success? Andy Reid was a better coach. I mean, Andy Reid was a better all-around coach. Buddy Ryan was, to me, a tremendous talent evaluator. He was a character, and Buddy was definitely more fun. He was definitely going to give you more entertainment. He was definitely more of a Philly fan type coach. But, Buddy, the problem with Buddy was he didn't care about teaching Cunningham how to properly play quarterback. He just said, go make 5 plays, go make 3 plays. And I think he stunted Cunningham's development. And I think that Andy Reid is a better all-around coach. Now, I think that Andy Reid is not as good of a talent evaluator as Buddy Ryan. How important is it the Eagles build chemistry? Go, Vic. It's very important. It's very important, and it takes time. It takes a lot of time to build chemistry. You know what I mean? Like, you just don't go out there a couple OTAs and preseason and build it. It takes games. Some teams it takes years. So it takes a while. That's why I think they're going to start slow. But once you start building it, then you start to play better. But it definitely is important. It takes time. Dallas, I hope you're ready. Vermeil has to be in the conversation for great Eagles coach. Sean, I personally, in my opinion, I think Vermeil was the greatest coach. I take Vermeil over Andy Reid. I know Andy Reid had more success. But, look, Vermeil almost came back to Philly. People forget, he almost came back to Philly, but they didn't. But Jeffrey Lurie, we're talking about Lurie. Lurie didn't want to give him, the GM job also. He didn't want him to make football decisions. And Vermeil said no. And Vermeil went to the Rams, did it, and won a Super Bowl. So I think Vermeil is. It's very hard to do what Vermeil did, where you go to different teams and make them all good like that. Vermeil, to me, is the best. If Wentz wins 1 Super Bowl, he will be the best quarterback in franchise history. Yeah, I don't think it'll take long. Like, let's say the Eagles win a Super Bowl this year. If the Eagles won a Super Bowl this year, I would say in 2 years from now, if they play good, Wentz plays good, in 2 years, he's the greatest in the franchise history. Vermeil was a better crier than Andy Reid. He was, and that's my first memory. That's when I fell in love with the Eagles. I watched his press conference, and I remember him crying when he was leaving because he was burned out. I'll never forget that. That was when I was like, I love this team. This guy's crying. He's hurting. People love him. I loved it. That's when I fell in love with the Eagles. I became an Eagle fan that day. I mean, I was already a fan, but I loved them. Alshon is quieter than Dez and younger. Alshon is younger than Dez Bryant. I don't know how old Dez Bryant is, but he's definitely quieter. He's, I think, a little bigger, but I would say Dez Bryant's a little faster. Well, Le'Veon signed a long-term deal with the Steelers next year, or what? Right? I don't know. But if he walks, I'm signing him. The Eagles got to sign him. He would be awesome for the Eagles. Who's the 2 most important re-signs in all season next year? the two most, I have to look and see exactly who everybody is that's contracts up. How many more years does Jordan Hicks have? I would say Alshon definitely. You have to bring Alshon back, okay? And then I would have to say I need to see whose contracts are up. Do you think Doug Peterson has a chance of being fired if the team doesn't perform as well as coach? I do, Darius. I do, because I think that you saw the Eagles kind of go away from him. They're focusing him out already. If you looked at the draft, right, when the Eagles had the draft and the draft was in Philly, you hardly saw anything with him. Doug Peterson was barely around. I think they're already fading him out. I think that he was only hired, in my opinion, because Howie Roseman never wanted to have somebody challenge him again and put him in that situation. And Doug Peterson, he knew how Andy Reid did it, knew the way that they did it, and was going to go and do the same thing. I'm going to Eagles-Raiders game. Are you going to go Philly? I don't know if I'm going to go there, Kid Savage. But I don't know. If I have an opportunity to go, I may. It is Christmas Day, so I got the kids and, and all that stuff, and Santa's come over. So we'll have to see. Plus, I don't know how much eggnog. I love eggnog, by the way. I love eggnog. You know how much I love eggnog? I love eggnog. So I have to see. Alshon is 27. Dez is 29. Okay. That's pretty good. I thought Dez is a little older than I thought. I thought Dez was like 27. So that's good for us, right? That's good. But he's got to remain healthy. Alshon has to be healthy. He's been hurt for the past 3 years. Who will have a better season, Alshon or Brandon Marshall? I think Alshon has a better year, but Marshall is, he's like the third threat. He's the third option, maybe second, third option for the Giants. So they're gonna focus on Odell Beckham. The Eagles are gonna focus on Alshon. So Alshon definitely. Well, yeah, Alshon will be top target. Marshall's second on the chart. So yeah, I definitely think Alshon ends up. Here's why I think Alshon gets. Here's what I think he's gonna get. I think it's going to be about 80 catches, 1,200 yards, about 8 to 10 touchdowns. I think that's about right. I think Bramar will be okay for the Giants. Not great. Okay. Well, Eagles fan, I tell you what, I thought that was a sneaky good signing for the Giants because I think Marshall still can play. But the Giants, look, they're on their last horse. They got a small window, 2 years left, When will the Eagles finally win a Super Bowl? Will you come to Philadelphia for Victor Perry? Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there for that. You know what I mean? Do you think if we beat the Skins and Chiefs, we'll have a 12-4 season? If we beat the Skins and the Chiefs, so if we start 2-0, we beat the Giants, we're 3-0, I would say we have a shot. We would have a shot. What are we doing against Arizona and Carolina? If we can come out beating one of those two teams, I think, yeah. Let's say we beat the Redskins, the Chiefs, the Giants. Let's say we lose to the Chargers and we lose to the Panthers. We have a shot. We would definitely at that point, have a shot for 12-4. But the Chiefs is such a hard place to play. I mean, I got them winning the Redskins the first game. I do. I think they split with the Redskins, but it depends how bad the Redskins are. Aguilar beats out Torrey Smith for his starting spot, in my opinion, but Smith will be still a factor. Maybe, from what I'm hearing, they want to move. Doesn't it sound like to you that they want to put Aguilar at the slot? Like they're going to do that? And if he makes a couple plays, because he's a lot faster than Matthews, I think they're fading Jordan Matthews out. I do. I think they're getting ready to do that. Don't sleep on that Chargers game. Rivers destroyed us last night. I picked the Chargers that game to win because of the coach, Oh, yes, this is still going. Just got back from dinner and thought I missed the whole thing. No, Nick, welcome. I'm still here. We're going strong and people are still asking questions. Aguilar is big for the slot, isn't he? No, I don't think he's big for the slot. He's got some speed. Look, this is where they're putting him in OTAs and they're bragging about it. Now, why would the Eagles brag about it over Jordan Matthews? Because I think they know Matthews may walk. I think they're going to try to move. I think they're going to try Aguilar in a slot. You might lose your balls, Kid Savage. Don't lose your balls, whoever you are. Marshall plays some slot size, can hurt. Yeah, Marshall can play all over. You should make a weekly prediction for every game this season. The sauce. I'm going to do that. I'm also going to do, I want to do a weekly, like, on a Friday, like, I want to do a fantasy football. I want to do, like, the weekly picks, best picks. I play a lot of DraftKings and FanDuel. I'm big into that, so I'm going to be doing that a lot. You should make a fantasy draft and do a video of that. Yeah, I can do that. I can do that, catch one. I can definitely do that. No, I love Jordan. Awesome dude. I love Jordan too. I like him too. But how are they going to sign him? I don't know. I know how the Eagles work. I know they start putting out certain things ahead of time, like almost to get you ready for something that may happen. They may sign Jordan Matthews. We'll see. You know? Yeah, it's very fun, but you have to be of age, I think. Can you do it in New York? I don't know if you can play FanDuel, DraftKings. Didn't they make that legal there? The Charger Stadium is 10 miles from. That's awesome. That's awesome. Matthews was our only productive receiver for the last 2 years. People seem to forget that. Yeah, Spunky, that's true. Oh, Matthews was our only. Yeah, that's true, Spunky. But now you have Alshon, and you got a situation where you're going to have to sign him, and then you're going to have to sign Jordan Matthews. I think Jordan Matthews is very good in the slot. Okay? So when Jordan Matthews is in the slot, his numbers are going to go up. With Alshon, his numbers will go up. So I think he has a pretty good year. I think Alshon has a pretty good year. So now you're going to have to come up and pay both of them. I don't know how they do that. And if you have to choose Alshon or Matthews, who are you choosing? I have to choose Alshon, Did you hear the news? Of what? I don't know. If the Eagles win the Super Bowl, that will be the day I get arrested. Oh, man. If you get arrested and you miss the thing, that would stink. What happened with draft? I think they delayed the merger. I don't know if it's going to happen in the future or not, but apparently they're not doing it, which I'm okay with, I guess. I like having two different places to play. Zeke is getting suspended. Oh, how many games? If we go 12-4, 11-5 this year, Wentz throw 30 touchdowns and over 4,000, should Peterson's job be safe? Yeah, Darius, if he goes 12-4, they go 12-4, I don't see how you can fire Peterson. Peterson is not going to get fired, I think. Probably, if they make the playoffs, he probably won't get fired. You know what I mean? May get suspended 1 or 2. Okay, so if Elliott gets suspended 1 or 2, if it was any other player on any other team, right? If it was any other team, it would be 3-4 or it'd be double. Is there a source, or are you just saying that, Green? Cowboys love suspensions. Cowboys love suspensions. I don't like fantasy. It makes me root for other players or against my own. That's dumb in my opinion. Well, it's very interesting that you say that. I have some rules. Here it is. I never bet against my own team. At least I try not to. When it comes to fantasy, I will play them if I need to, but if I don't, I'll still root for them against what I'm doing. Now, since I did FanDuel and DraftKings and not just regular fantasy, you can do that a little more without it affecting you, I think, Kid Savage, I think the Phillies are 3 or 4 years away, although I'm curious about that Stanton trade. Trade Jordan Matthews for a second-round pick or a young running back, Darius. Yeah, maybe. I mean, if I know I'm going to lose Jordan Matthews, if I know it, and I could get a second-round pick, I'd do it. But I'm not doing it for anything, anything has to be at least a second. What's up, Tyler? How you doing, buddy? Glad to see you here. If the Eagles got to the Super Bowl, who would be the MVP? Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz. You think Jordan Howard? I think Jordan Howard. Jordan Howard. Yeah, I think so. Rather hold on to Timmy or Brandon next year. Timmy or Brandon? Brandon, well, give me Timmy Jernigan. How has your weekend been? It's been good. I've been running around. My daughter's having her birthday party on Sunday, so we're going to sit there and had to go get a bunch of stuff for it, but it's all good. Why did Chief Trey Master? He's a free agent, season ends. Yeah, well, exactly. Team's not going to give you a second-round pick for him. Not at all. You know what I mean? Not at all. I think that, that would be a pipe dream. But I'm just saying, the only way I would get rid of Matthews early is if it could be a second. It'll never happen, But I'm just saying that's the only way. I'm not giving them for third or fourth. I'm trying to figure out how to keep these guys. That's what I want to do. I feel like Zach Ertz is extremely overrated. I had him in fantasy last year for a while, and he did nothing. Sauce. Look, I agree. Ertz has been overrated. I think he's been very overrated, and I also think that he's got a lot of talent, but he's got to put it together for a whole year. Look, he plays good in late December. He does. But he's got to do it when it means something. He just does. But what did my daughter get for her birthday? Oh, God. A lot of toys and stuff. She got a lot of stuff. Her grandparents, aunts, everybody sends her stuff. She's spoiled. Tell her happy birthday. I will do that. Thank you. Is Trey Burton better than people think? I think he is. I think he's definitely better than people think. From an offensive standpoint of catching balls and that kind of thing. From a blocking standpoint, he's not. But I think Trey Burton, he's going to be a little more active than people realize this year. I definitely do. Zeke is getting switched for 2 games, yes. First 2 games of the season. Which Eagles players are looking forward to see play the most? I want to see Wentz because I want to see how he progresses. I want to see Alshon because I want to see how they go with each other. I also want to see Jordan Hicks. I want to see the rookies. So there's quite a lot of guys I want to see. I'm excited to see. Is he really? I just looked that up. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. But I assume that if he's suspended, he's going to go ahead and he's going to appeal. And then that's going to take however long. So, joint video sometime, yeah. Like I said to you, if you're right about the prediction, I will have you come on and I will tell you I'm sorry in front of everybody that you were right. And I'll do that when the time comes. Most overrated NFC team. Most overrated Dallas Cowboys, by far. I think the Cowboys are overrated. Should we trade Vinny Curry? I don't think anybody's going to give you anything for him with the amount of money that he's asking for. Do you think no, I don't. Are you more excited about the offense, which includes the line, or our defense, which intrigues you more? Which intrigues you more? I'm more excited probably the offense. Even with the line, even with with the additions of Blunt and Alshon and Carson in his second year, a whole year to learn. I'm definitely excited about the offense more. Any Pro Bowl selections from the Eagles? Yeah, I definitely think there will be some. I think Carson may get in there. I'm hoping if Alshon's healthy, I think he could get in there. I think Jordan Hicks will definitely be in there, and then probably Malcolm Jenkins. So I think we can get 4 to 5 if we have a good year. 3 at the least, 4 or 5 at the most. That's what I would say. But I would definitely say that those guys. Read up. No Pro Bowl because we be at a Super Bowl. I'll take it. Yeah. Who do you hate most besides Patriots, Cardinals, NFC East teams? I hate them all. I honestly, I hate everybody but the Eagles. I don't care about anybody. I hate them all. I'm more excited about our front 7, and Wentz. Well, yeah, Lenny, I understand that, especially with Jernigan, and then you get Derek Barnett, and if Curry's really healthy, yeah, I get it. I definitely get it. Blunt to be a fullback and have Small behind him? No, I don't want him like a joint view talking birds, not about sometime, but not right now, not right this second. I don't even know how to do that. Greatest moment in your life as an Eagle fan? Probably when they went to the Super Bowl. The NFC Championship they won, probably then. That would probably be my greatest moment as an Eagle. We were going to Super Bowl. It was like unreal. I could not believe we had just won. So that I would say that. Eagles disdainful. Yeah, really. Which player will be talking about at the end of the season that we aren't talking about now? I would say that we're going to be talking about Jordan Hicks. I really believe Jordan Hicks is going to be maybe a defensive player of the year. I think he's that good. So I definitely think him. I think that, and Carson Wentz. So I don't know about anybody else, How many years do you think Jason Pierce have left in him? Maybe 1 or 2? Yeah, I think 1 or 2 at most. I mean, like I said in many of my other videos, I would have let him go this year. But I do like the idea of putting him inside. So if they put him inside, I think he can maybe do 2 to 3. But I think this has got to be probably his last year at left tackle. Take your hat off. What's your hair like? What do you mean? It's just hair. It's just hair. I don't understand why you want to see my hair. Moment first Eagles game you remember going to. First Eagles game you remember going to. Oh man, that's a good one. I think it was Cunningham days, and I want to say it was New England. But they weren't good then. They stunk. It was a stinky game, but I think Cunningham ran like 55 yards down the sideline. That was probably the first one I remember. The other one that stands out because they always show the highlight was the McNabb in Washington where he does a little thing like that and goes in for a touchdown, Christmas prediction, Carr versus Wentz. Lenny, I got the Eagles winning that game. They're going to win the last 4 games. Who is your sleeper team this year? I have a couple right now that I like. One of them I'll say, because I've talked about it, is Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville is a definite sleeper team this year. I think Houston could be a sleeper team this year. But I think the Leonard Fournette draft pick was going to be remarkable. And don't forget Tennessee. It could be. It's because you always wear a hat wear a hat because I feel like wearing a hat. If I don't feel like wearing a hat, I don't wear a hat. But if I want to wear a hat, I wear a hat. Best rookie quarterback this year. I don't like any of the rookie quarterbacks this year. I don't like any of them. I don't know. Probably the Bears. The Bears got, but I don't really like any of them. No Wentz jersey yet, boss. No, I haven't gotten a Wentz jersey yet. I will get one though. Just have to figure out when. Because I have bad luck with jerseys. I've done a whole video on it. I have bad luck with jerseys. Every time I get an Eagle jersey, they get rid of the guy the next year. So I didn't get anything last year, and I'm probably going to do Wentz because I think he's a safe bet. Says, what did the PFF say? Write that again. It faded at the last second, so I didn't see. I like Chad Kelly. Too bad for his off the field. Yeah, it's because you always wear a hat during. Yeah, I know you said that, but it's because I feel like wearing a hat. It's not because I'm bald or anything. It's because that's what I feel like doing. This is my training camp hat. Wentz for Aaron Rodgers. Would you do it? God, that's a tough one because I know what. Yeah, I probably would. I mean, look, Aaron Rodgers probably has enough years left. You know what I mean? I would say, yeah. I was there when he came back against the Giants' Miracle of the Meadowlands. The first one we bore. Wait, which one are you talking about? Which miracle? There's 3. Rodgers is so overrated. I don't think Rodgers is overrated. No. I don't think Rodgers is overrated at all. Kevin, it's okay. It's okay. He can ask me questions like that. If Eagles moved to Las Vegas, would you still be? No. Eagles, I wouldn't. If he leaves Philly, no. That's okay. You can ask me that. If you want to know why we're hats, ask. That's fine. If we win the Super Bowl this year, will Wentz be a top 5 quarterback? Yeah, he would. He would be a top 5 quarterback, and he would probably be the MVP of the year. Unless it's some situation where he gets hot at the end of the year. If it's the same crowd. There's nothing overrated about Rodgers. No. God, no. He's amazing. The one where, oh man, were you really at that game? Oh my God. I'll never forget that game. That game was so awesome. That has got to be one of my favorite. I mean, that was just unbelievable. And the thing is that the whole season collapsed after that. Remember the Minnesota game, and things got like the snow, and the snow shut down everything, and then they just collapsed. That was a year that you think that they're going to go on this run, and it is destiny. That's the kind of stuff. If it's other teams, that kind of thing, if it's other teams, we get it. Rodgers is overrated. Are we talking about Aaron Rodgers? Or are you talking about like Carlos Rodgers, the old Cooner or something? Because I don't know how Aaron Rodgers is overrated. You got the Eagles hat with the logo on the visor. You got the Eagles hat with the logo on the... Yeah. Joe, I don't understand people. They think question is weird. It's fine. You can ask me whatever you want. Eagles should have snagged Megatron before he retired. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there was any way that they could do that. Everyone says Rodgers is overrated. I don't know how Rodgers could be overrated. Rodgers is amazing, in my opinion. If you had to sign one player, who would you pick? Le'Veon Bell or Aaron Donald? Give me Le'Veon Bell. I'm going to trust that Fletcher Cox is going to be able to have a comeback year, to be dominant again. So then I wouldn't need Aaron Donald, and I would take Bell. It says the Eagles front seven is top three. Love Hicks, Cox, Graham, Jordan. That's great. Yeah, when those type of sites that use all these statistical numbers and all these things, some of those stats are very judgmental. Like, what do they view as a pass rush? What do they count as, oh, that was a rush by Graham, so we count that as him getting a rush on the passer. So to me, it depends on the statistics that they're using. Some of that is way too much overanalyzation for me, and that's why I don't get caught up in it, except for when they say the 91 Eagles defense is the greatest ever. I agree with that. The Arizona Eagles sound awful. Yeah. If the Eagles left Philly, I would not be an Eagle fan. I'd wait for them to get a new team. Should the Eagles have had fired Andy Reid? Yeah, they should have fired him, and I think they should have fired him probably 2 years before they did. They actually waited too long, so yeah. Norman Bremen kept them in Philly. Yeah, I mean, were they really that close to leaving at one point? I think Rodgers I don't know. Rodgers is amazing. To me though, you think Rodgers would have won more than one Super Bowl? You really do. Charles Woodson or Eric Berry? Charles Woodson is prime. Eric Berry, because Charles Woodson is prime as a corner, right? So Berry's a safety. I would take the corner over the safety, but I like Eric Berry a lot, though. I mean, Woodson, I think, finished his career at safety, and I would take Eric Berry over him as a safety. I don't think anyone has done Jernigan. Cox pretty good last season. He made a Pro Bowl in 30. Yeah, look, I agree. I like Cox. I like Jernigan. I give credit to Brandon Graham. But what I'm saying about Brandon Graham is, at some point, all those hurries that you get credit for have to become sacks. Sometimes you have to get home and get to the quarterback. If it's always just that you're close and never close enough, to me, at some point, I want him to get quarterback. Get 10 sacks. That's all I'm saying. Sidney Jones comes back and plays like a top 5 corner. We could have a defense better. Yeah, but, to expect him to come back his first year, right, as a rookie, coming off of an Achilles, it's almost impossible. I would rather him focus on the mental part of the game this year, sit and watch and learn, get healthy, then come back and apply the things that you watched and learned, in year 2, and then come back and play. Sidney Jones come back only if we start to contend. But I think that if they bring Sidney Jones back, I think it's a mistake. I think it's too early. Joe, buy an Austin Jeffrey jersey and see if you're... No, I already done that too much. I'm not getting killed anymore. What would you give up for Marcus Peters? Right now, I'm not giving up any first-round picks for Marcus Peters right now. Maybe in all season, maybe like a third-round pick, second-round pick. When you get this close to training camp, I don't know. Demaryius Thomas or Dez? Honestly, I hate to say it, but I would take Dez. Oh, no. Yeah, well, that's a theory I have. I may buy all the bad jerseys or all the players I don't like, and then they'll leave. Coke or Pepsi? Coke. I think Coke. Who do you think Wentz needs most chemistry with? I think Alshon, definitely. I want him to have that number one stud wide receiver. That's what I want. The Chiefs are trading away 24-year-old shutdown corner. Wait, is that just is that a real problem? Is that a real issue? They're really trading him away? I have a hard time believing that. Dan Fouts was great too, despite no Super Bowls. He was, yeah. Dan Marino too. That's why there's always exceptions in the greatest ever. You know what I mean? Could Ertz get 1,000 yards this year? Very interesting question. He has the talent to get 1,000 yards this year. Will he? I don't know. I don't know. What materials? I don't know. I don't even know. If you give Graham and Jenkins for Peters, would you? I'll give up Brandon Graham and Jenkins for Peters. I might too. I don't value Brandon Graham as much as a lot of you guys do, so I might. Yeah. I don't think great thoughts of Brandon Graham. You know what I mean? He's a 13th pick overall who was gone before Earl Thomas. I can't get over that. I don't think Kansas City would. Is Kansas City really trying to trade Peters? Is that true? Edelman, Adrian Green, was that really a question? I didn't know. Jernigan or Cox? I think Cox gets more sacks. I think Cox is going to get 8 sacks this year. I think Cox is going to have a big year. I think he's going to come back strong. Do you like Doug Peterson? I don't like Doug Peterson from what I saw last year. I was not a fan of Doug Peterson. I was very unimpressed with him. I was unimpressed with the way he adjusted. I was unimpressed with his offense. I think he's a great person, a nice guy, and I know the players like him, and I respect him in that way. But he has a lot to show me as a coach. You know what I mean? Norman or Sherman? I like Sherman over Norman. Who would number one coach you would like to see in Philly? John Harbaugh. I want Harbaugh to come back to Philly when he leaves Baltimore, because I like Harbaugh. He showed that he can work with a young quarterback and get him to a Super Bowl. So I would say him. Andy Reid should come back. Yeah, Andy Reid just signed a 5-year extension. That ain't happening. I like Pearson at the beginning. When you're 3-0, sure, he looks great. You're like, yeah, this guy's awesome. But, rather quickly, that didn't work out. So, yeah, I would say that. Current Eagles coach you think could be current Eagles coach you could think could be a head coach. I don't think Schwartz can be a head coach. I don't want Schwartz as a head coach. I'm not a big Schwartz fan. I would say Frank Reich had some interest with other teams. So maybe him, if he takes over the play calling and does a good job. I mean, he did pretty good I think he was with San Diego right before he came to Philly, and he had some interest from Buffalo. Is Jordan Hicks the best thing Kelly brought us? Yes. Without question, Darius. Yes, without question. Jordan Hicks, I mean, that was such a steal. I really think he is going to be seriously a defensive MVP. I think he has the potential to be a defensive player of the year. I think that much of Hicks. The biggest fear with Hicks is his health. Can he stay healthy? That I don't know. That we have to see. I don't know. Do you think Aguilar breaks out? I do not. I think that he's going to have mental breakdown. He's going to do something wrong, drop the ball, and it's going to be back to the same old Aguilar. I hope not. I hope he does, but that's just what I think is going to happen. How old is Hicks? I think Hicks is 25, 26. 2+ hours and still going strong. Thanks, man. I'm just going with the flow. It's like people keep asking questions, I'll keep answering as long as I can. I have no problem. Everything's good in the house. Kids are happy. The wife is happy. Hey, why not? You want to talk some birds? Let's do it. That's how I feel. If questions slow down or stop, yeah, sure. Then I'll go. I ain't going to keep everybody. But, hey, what are you going to do? Hicks just turned 20. Oh, yes! 25. That dude's young. Just lock him up. You know what I mean? You're not tired? No, I'm okay right now. My knee hurts a little bit, but my knee hurts whether I sit or stand because I had a bunch of operations on it. Yeah, I wish I was 25 again too. Why do you only have 2 Eagles things behind you? Do I need 3 or 4? How many things do you want me to get? Would you rather have Bradford or Osweiler? I'd rather have, oh God, I'd rather have Osweiler. I'm not a big fan of Bradford. Stinkford, I did not like Brad. I don't like him. So give me Osweiler. Just looks open behind you. Open to what? Interpretation? Well, I mean, I'm gonna disappear. Where's Cobb jersey? I don't have a Cobb jersey. I never did, never will. What do you think of Giants Major League Baseball, B.J. Goodson? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Nicky Six. Yeah, I like Nick Foles. I thought he got a bad deal with the Eagles the first go around. I thought they should have given him a opportunity, and they didn't believe in him, and I think he lost his confidence. I really do. You know what I mean? That's what I think. Our D-line was here and didn't go as good as Cox underperformed, so did Benny Logan Curry. How do you know it's going to be better? I don't know that it's going to be better. I'm hoping, right? We have to have hope because the truth is we don't know how a lot of this is going to turn out. A lot of new guys, a lot of new faces. We just got to have a little bit of hope. I'm trying to have a little bit of hope. I try to combine my hope with, with being practical and being down to earth about it. But it's hard to do both. Imagine if Bryce Harper and Mike Trout end up in Philly. Yeah, I love Mike Trout. Are you kidding? I like Harper too. That would be pretty amazing. Mayweather and McGregor. I think Mayweather. Look, I mean, it's a boxing match. It's of course Mayweather. I don't think it's even going to be close. I don't even think it's going to be entertaining. I think it's going to be a straight up beating. Philly sports teams with the most success in the next 5 years. Please love it. Thanks, James. I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you. I think that the Sixers are the furthest ahead because they have, I think it's a lot easier to build a basketball team than a football team. So I would say the Sixers and the Eagles are definitely up and coming. I think the Flyers are a few years away to get to the point that these two teams are at right now, and I think the Phillies are even further behind. Arians isn't doing a good team. That question faded out to oblivion. What would you do if you ran into Chip Kelly in an elevator? Be honest. I would say, dude, give me one of your visors. He's got a lot of visors. What do you think the best player on defense for the Eagles will be? Keep up the content. Thanks, Mark Anthony. I appreciate that. Jordan Hicks. I think Hicks is the best. Is the best defensive player on the Eagles by far, and I think he's going to be one of the most dominant, best players in the NFL if he stays healthy. I think so. Mayweather's too old. Yeah, but we're talking about boxing, right? McGregor is not a boxer like Mayweather. This is if it was UFC or something, yeah, sure, but this is boxing. Yeah, he does kind of look like Winnie the Pooh. Would you rather have Chip Kelly or Doug Peterson? Doug Peterson. Look, Doug Peterson didn't throw away Shady McCoy. He didn't get rid of Deshaun Jackson. He didn't let Jeremy Maclin go. Chip Kelly did. I can't let him go for that. You like EDP? I don't know EDP personally. I never met the guy. I know his videos get a lot of people pissed off. To me personally, I watch some of his stuff when it comes to reaction of a game. I have no personal problem. I like him. I have no problem with him. I know he bothers people with some of the things he says. He doesn't me. So I would say, yeah, I like him, I guess. Floyd is so boring to watch. He is, yeah. He is, but that's what he does. His defense is awesome. I like our safety. I just hope we don't move Jenkins down to slot cornerback again. Yeah, well, I think that they may do that again, actually, because they don't, the corner's so suspect. But that's why if they would have looked like Malik Hooker, and you could have been in positions where you could have brought Hooker in the safety on third downs and moved him into a slot, that would have been pretty cool. EDP's account, yeah, that's what they're saying. I don't know it. I don't know anything about that, but that's what I heard. Yeah, definitely. EDP is a curse word and a fort. Okay, I don't know. Warmack over Bar. Yeah, Kevin, I love Warmack. I think he's going to. He was one of my favorite signings, to be honest. I wish we'd have signed him longer, but I think he could be dominant. Dawkins Palma on the Eagles was my dream. Yeah, that would have been nice. Dawkins was awesome. What's the score prediction for Eagles versus? Well, it's really early. I mean, really early. But I said in my video, I think that that's a shootout, right? I think that's going to be a complete shootout. So I think it's going to be an Eagles victory against the Raiders on Christmas, 38-34. How much money would it take for you to eat a cockroach? Do it right now. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. A lot of money. Will Cox be anything near Reggie White? Could Cox? No. No, I don't think so. No, to me, Reggie White's the greatest defensive end I've ever seen. Greatest to ever play. And I don't think so. Reggie White was something special. I mean, Reggie White was literally a 300-pound defensive end that you could move around. It was as fast as some of the ones that play now. I don't know, but do you think Lonzo's the next Magic? I think he possesses some of the qualities I like about Magic Johnson, where you make players better by your assists and by passing, and he does that. And that's why I liked Magic, because he made everybody better, and he didn't need 30 points. He could get 20 assists. Are there any dingbats in the Eagles organization? Yes, there is. The king dingbat, number one, Howie Roseman. Lawrence Taylor is the best defender ever. Don't make any mistakes. Come on. Don't, no. Reggie White was the man. Reggie White's better than LT. Sorry. LT was a great linebacker, but it was Reggie White. Sorry, Reggie White. You'll never get me on this. I just bought Curry's two. Do you have any basketball shoes? I have basketball shoes. I don't think I have any basketball shoes right now. I used to always get Jordans. I had it for 10 years. I had every Jordan. Now I just get whatever feels good on my foot. Yeah, he does snort coke, a lot of it. LT was great, but LT had got to play against Ron Jaworski, and that was like half of his sacks right there. Look, I'm not gonna crush LT. I'm not gonna do it. He was a great player, but I'm taking Reggie White. I'm sorry. When it comes to a pass rusher, I'm taking Reggie White. How many total sacks did LT have? How many did Reggie White have? I don't know the totals of either of them, but I think Reggie had more. Arguably the worst linebacker in history. No, LT was good. These Giant fans got to get... Look, they Giant fans always think that they're better because they're the Giants. That's what I'm saying. But Reggie White, to me... I think he's the best pass rusher of all time. The best I ever seen. You should make a gaming channel going. Maybe Madden EA. Yeah, you could do like a game. I could do like a game channel, but you would all whip my butt because I'm not good at Madden. I mean, I'll tell you what. When it comes out, I'll get it, and I'll film. I'll let you guys come and challenge me, and you can see who can beat me by more. But I'll play you. How come we always whoop their... Yeah, because we own the Giants. We're in the Giants' head. You know what I mean? We own the Giants. We're in their head. And, the thing about the Giants is they know it. We know it. But because they got Super Bowls, they're always going to have that over us. Until we win a Super Bowl, they're going to have it over us. And let me tell you, when they win a Super Bowl, they're going to say, well, we have 4 and you have 1. Then if you win 2 Super Bowls, well, we have 4 and you have 2. So... it's just the way it is, We own the Giants. When something goes weird in a game, the Eagles it's going to come out on our favor. Some of the weirdest things I ever see in football happen on the Giants. Yeah, White got 198 sacks, LT got 132, and half of those 132 was against who? Ron Jaworski. Reggie White to me is the best pass rusher. LT was great too, but I'm taking Reggie White every single time. I have to take Reggie. I got to take him. Reggie was amazing. LT was good too. Even though the Giants, at one point, I think they were ready to trade LT. You know what I mean? Everyone says LT. I don't. I'm somebody. I'm a human. I say Reggie White. Will Cox be a Hall of Famer if he keeps this up and he's only 26? I think the year he had 2 years ago, if he keeps that up, he has a shot. I think he is a little off last year, but I would still put Jerome Brown ahead of him. I got Reggie over LT. Yeah, me too. Do you think J.J. Watt could surpass Reggie White? I don't know what his sack count is, J.J. Watts, but I don't think he's as dominant as Reggie White was. He's good, though. He's really, really good. You know what I mean? Jim Beam, okay, yeah, well, he did change the game in a lot of ways, you know? He made quarterbacks make a sound when you have Ron Jaworski. But I still want Reggie White. And look, maybe that's a biased Eagle fan talking. I'll give you that. But I can't help it. I think Reggie White. You know what I mean? I don't care about all those numbers, the defensive MVP. I don't care about it because a defensive end like Reggie wasn't going to get it. The Giant, a New York Giant in the city of New York, of course he's going to give it to LT. Reliability of powers of speed and caught running back. Yeah, he was great. Look, I can't argue with that. But I like Reggie White better. Reggie White was a defensive end. LT was a linebacker, right? I mean, can we even compare them fairly? If you compare them in terms of pass rusher, Reggie White no speed. You crazy? What? Reggie, go watch Reggie pick up from a run ball 80 yards against the Redskins. Nobody can catch him. Reggie White was not no speed. That's crazy. That's nuts. He's got as much speed as any of these guys today. LT was a linebacker. Are we talking about pass rusher? You talk about a pass rusher, you go Reggie. You want to talk about a linebacker who would rush sometimes, then cover running back. That's a different position. Jeffrey Lurie isn't well for us, just my opinion. Yeah, well, a lot of people think that. LT played linebacker. He played in a 3-4. Reggie was a 4-3 defensive end. Defensive ends don't cover running back. I'm sorry, but if you want to compare Reggie and LT, then let's go at what they both did the same. Pass rush. Reggie was a better pass rusher, in my opinion. You want to say LT could cover running backs and he could do other things because he was a linebacker? Then fine, I'll buy that. But I'm going with Reggie. White wasn't enough for the Eagles to win. There we go. That's the Giants for you. Reggie wasn't enough for the Eagles to win, but LT was enough for the Giants. I'm sorry. How many touchdown passes did LT throw? How many times did he run the ball? You have to have a whole team. It takes a whole team, not just one guy. Come on now. You know what I mean? That ain't fair. Did anybody go to the draft at Philly? I did. I did not. No, I wish I could have though. Not LaDaine Thomas was mean. We mean Lawrence. I know who you mean. Lawrence Taylor. I'll take Reggie White. Look. Lawrence Taylor was great. Yes. But Reggie White, to me, was a better pass rushing defensive player than LT. The stats will bear that out. Will the draft be in Philly again next year? I don't think it will. It sounds like it's going to be in Dallas. So, once again, the Cowboys use their satanicness to put black magic over the NFL and force it into Dallas. It should be in Philly at least one more year. That ain't fair. I can guarantee you it'll be 2 years in Dallas. My brother's favorite running back of all time, LT. Who's your bro? My favorite running back of all T, Kid Savage, is Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders was my favorite running back ever. Pure running back, I would say Barry Sanders. Watching him run was like, there's nothing like it. I've still, to this day, seen nothing like Barry Sanders run a ball. Now, the best running back of all time, in terms of being able to catch, run, and everything, probably isn't him, but, he's my favorite running back of all time. Fine, but LT was a better overall player. Also, wait. What defense are you putting up against our Eagles 91 defense? I forget. Eli 2 Super Bowls, Wentz won't win any. Jim Beam, hey, buddy, we'll see. I mean, we got a guy who's in the second year of his career. Let's give him a chance, right? But if he doesn't, you'll have every reason to say that. Shady is the closest thing to Barry when it comes to skills. Yeah, he showed some Barry stuff, but Barry was to another extreme. It was like 3 or 4 notches, you know what I mean? Yeah, Barry Sanders was better than Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith had a great line around him, and he was the focus. I would love to put Barry Sanders on that line. But Barry Sanders also didn't always run the way they wanted him to run, Lynch or Blunt? Blunt, I would say. I wonder, you mean Marshawn Lynch in Oakland now? I think that's going to be interesting, but he took a whole year off, so we'll see. I don't know what he'll do. It'll be interesting. But we'll see. Wasn't it the Redskins? Yeah, Redskins won Super Bowl in 91. They 14-2. I think they had 9 sacks. They gave up 9 sacks all year long, and I believe the Eagles had like 5 of them. With Reggie White. The Eagles didn't go to Super Bowl that year because Cunningham got hurt. But that was the most dominating defense I've ever seen, was that 91 Eagles defense. There's nothing like it. But you'll never get the credit because they didn't win a Super Bowl. OJ, best running back, Bills, not passing to... Well, I don't know. I didn't see OJ. My dad would tell you Jim Brown. So I always try to base it on who I've seen. You know what I mean? Okay, so shouldn't have Reggie carried his team to LT? Well, what do you want him to do? You have 21 sacks in 12 games. What are you supposed to do if your offense can't score points? I don't understand. What is he supposed to do? If you put LT on the Eagles when Cunningham is hurt, LT ain't winning no Super Bowls. If you put Reggie White on the Giants when they won Super Bowls, they're winning Super Bowls. You can't base it on that alone. All right, buddy, I'll talk to you later. You're basing it on one factor that isn't fair because it involves other people. You can't do that when it involves other people. Please, we had Sims and won. Come on. Phil Sims is better than Jeff Kemp. You know what I mean? Joe, are you ignoring me? No, I've answered every question I've seen that you've asked. There's a lot of questions coming at me. Sims was good. Look, Sims was good enough to win a Super Bowl. It was a different time. You know what I mean? You didn't have to pass as much. The Giants had a great running game. They had a great defense. They were a great team. My mom watched him and thought the same thing. Yeah, well, he was good enough to win. I hope so. 12-4, I don't know it's possible. I think that's pretty hard. But you never know. If they can get off to a good start, I think they're going to struggle early because there's so many new guys. But I think they get hot at the end. That's what I'm basing it on. You know what I mean? Ben B. Go Vic. What do you... I don't know what that means. Eli is one of the best clutch quarterbacks ever. His playoff stats destroy Peyton's. Look, the one thing about Eli Manning is he's come through in big games and big situations. And that's what I say. The Giants don't scare me in terms of what they can do. They're not going to go 14-2 in the season. But if they get in the playoffs and they're on the road, they can go into Green Bay and win. They can go in Dallas and win. They can go places and win. And that they would be a scary team to watch in the Super Bowl or into the playoffs on the road. I think the Giants are a team you don't want to play in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Eli has been done. I do respect your opinion, but you're the first person I've ever heard say that White was better than LT. I'm just surprised. Well, look, in fairness, that's my opinion. Maybe it's biased because he's only my favorite player ever. So maybe I'm biased. I accept that fact. I accept it. But that's what I think. But I think that it's very hard to compare a 3-4 linebacker and Reggie White. I think that it's hard to compare those two guys. If you're dealing with just being a pure pass rusher, I think I have an argument. That's all I'm saying. I think Eli is, you like White over Dawkins. I do like White over Dawkins. Dawkins is my second favorite player of all time. My third is Randall Cunningham. Reggie, look, I was young and impressionable when Reggie White was with the Eagles. So he made a big impact on me. You know what I mean? So I see Reggie as bigger than life. You know what I mean? Is Sue a Hall of Famer? I don't think so. Favorite beer on Game Time? It's interesting, Kevin. Tailgating or just at home? I like Bass Ale, and I also like if I'm tailgating or whatever, I'm a Stella guy. I love Stella. So I would say Stella was probably my favorite. I always tailgate with Stella. Stella Artois. Come on, Kid Savage. Randall couldn't do anything for us. Had to release him to help him. You like Stella too? That's good stuff, man. That and Bass Ale. Is he lying about that? I'm changing the channel. I have to change the channel and see. That would be crazy. I don't know if I'd be all with that. Don't do that to me. Yeah, did he say that? Melo to the Sixers. Nah, I don't. I think he's horsing around. What do you think of Brian Westbrook? I love Brian Westbrook. Brian Westbrook is one of my favorites. I thought he was actually very underrated. I think the Eagles could have traded him. I mean, could have not traded him, but they could have used him as a pure running back much earlier. But I love Westbrook. I actually got to meet Brian Westbrook after his rookie year, so that was pretty cool. You know what I mean? No, it's not. I don't think that's a real trade. So, yeah, I love Brian Westbrook, and I'll never forget that punt saved our season against the Giants. I mean, he killed the Giants. He was one of those guys that killed the Giants. Yeah, he almost gave me a heart attack, Kevin. No, didn't look good. Yeah, I know. I don't think he shocked me, kind of threw me off here for a second. Like, what? Come on, kids. I don't say that. I don't believe it. What did we give up? Yeah, well, you brought it up, right? Didn't you ask me? Were you the one to ask me about Westbrook? Remember that? The ball bounced, boom, over. That was great. That was great stuff. Westbrook was great. I like Westbrook personally. He's still my favorite over McCoy. I liked him better than McCoy. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let me know, Kevin. I don't see anything. I think it would be breaking or something. You know, but why would a young team want? I don't know. Why would the Sixers? I don't think they would. First, Jaleel and Covington. First, Jaleel and Covington for Carmelo. Come on, that's not. He's just talking. That ain't true. Steph is my favorite NBA. But yeah, he's pretty good, man. I give it to him. I like him. Paul George went to Oklahoma. Yeah, that was interesting. The Paul George going there. Richardson. Yeah, no, 1 year, 15. Yeah, the thing with Sherman is Sherman signed already for I think another 2 years with Seattle. So he's not going to just sign with the Eagles. Now, it ain't the way it goes, guys. So, we'll see. I mean, I doubt Milo's going to go to... Carmelo's not going to go to the Sixers. That's not happening. I don't even think he would want to do that. Why would he want to do that? Why would the Sixers do that? It doesn't make any sense. I highly, highly doubt that. I thought Oklahoma City was all... Don't know why they got... That's the only chance they have. If they want to win, they had to get somebody, have to get players. You need at least 3 guys. I mean, look at the way these teams are building in the NBA. They could use him because this Eagles second is garbage. Yeah, sure, but it's got to be for the right price. I mean, I'm not trading a first-round pick for Richard Sherman. No way. I'm not doing it. Never happen. Warriors are good. Timmy Jernigan is one of the only 6 defensive tackles with at least 4 sacks. Yeah, Timmy Jernigan has got some definite, potential. And, hey, I like him, but he's in a 1-year deal. He's another 1-year deal guy. What happens if he has a great year? What happens if Alshon has a great year? All these guys have great years, and they all want top dollar. Then what do we do? Well, we're in trouble. You know what I'm saying? We're in big trouble because somebody's going to walk. So it's a good thing. It's a bad thing. I don't know. We just have to see how it plays out, I would not trade Richard. I would not give a first-round pick for Richard Sherman right now. I would not give a second-round pick for Richard Sherman right now. Maybe a third. But I want to build my team long-term. I want young guys. I want guys to come play. I'm not trying to just win this year. Okay? That's not how I want to do it. Yeah, he is. For the Eagles, he is. We got a second-year quarterback. I want to build a team for 5 to 10 years. I want long-term stability. I don't want 1-year contracts and guys play and leave. I want stability so that every year I know the Eagles have a chance to win a Super Bowl because we got guys that have showed us that they can play. That's what I need to see. Our safeties are good. Corners suspect until Jones can play. Yeah, I think so, Holly. That's going to take a while. I mean, those guys are going to have to go. They're going to have to go through, learning curves. It's going to take a while, definitely. Definitely. So, anybody got any more questions? I'm down. I'll give you guys 3 more questions. Then I guess we'll go. We'll call it a night. It's getting late. What's up, Joey Shakes? What's going on, buddy? Where you been? You know, like Seattle, they have a young guy with Super Bowl capability. Yeah, I agree. I think so. But you got to build a team that's going to last for a while. You know, keep telling yourself that, Gregory. You ain't ever going to convince me of that. And I don't know why you would think I would ever say that. You know what I mean? Did I? No, I didn't. Did you? What a stupid question. Sorry, but Graham better than LT? Yeah, Graham is better than LT. If you're talking about graham crackers, that's if how we have to win Philly. Then we should. If what is 1 year deals? 1 year deals aren't going to win you more than one Super Bowl if you are in the right position. We're too young. We got a young quarterback. 1 year deals are not going to win us long-term Super Bowls, but they can help wins this year. And if we can re-sign some of these guys, then I'm good with it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think so. I'd rather than have the whole Eagles offense. Hey Jim, that's good, man. That's good. You can have him, but we're going to sweep the Giants this year, my friend. As a Giant fan, watch out, New York Giants. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I'll keep it in mind definitely. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. You know what I mean? Definitely. You Giant fans or something. I'll see you in the next chat, man. Good chat. Thank you, man. Thank you for coming. All of you guys, really. Hope Goodson lives up to the hype. We're going to find out, right? Yeah, almost. We're getting there. Eagles and Giants will split. Hey, Jim, I said the Eagles are going to sweep them. I'm predicting and guaranteeing it. If I'm wrong, I'll come on here. I'll eat crow. And I'll tell you I was wrong. You know what I mean? But I think the Eagles sweep the Giants because I think we own the Giants. And that's just the way it is, you know? Giant fans are always welcome here. I always battle with the Giant fans. You know, I have no problem with that. You know, it's all good. You know, they split last year. Yeah, they split last year. That's true. But I still think that we own you, and I still predict that we're going to sweep you this year. I don't care what we split last year. I mean, I think we just own you. What do you think of the wide receiver Fargo? Kevin, I think that was great. I think seeing Wentz work with those guys, and they look like they're having fun. They look like they like each other, and I think it's a great thing. I really do. You know what I mean? All right, thanks for stopping by. When do you think the Eagles are a Super Bowl team? I think that this year is, you know, this all season is going to determine. I'm guessing 2 to 3 years the Eagles are a Super Bowl team, and my hope is that after 2 or 3 years it's going to be for like 5 to 10. Can you say the record? What record? This year record? I think the Eagles 9-7. We had no offensive weapons last year. As with us now, the whole NFC could get it. Yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. I think the Eagles are gonna do what they're gonna. The Philly D-line is better. Get to Eli because the secondary will get. Yeah, you're right about that. I'm not gonna argue with you there. That secondary will get torched, and the Giants receivers could torch the Eagles. That is true. Hey, and if they do, I'll eat it. But when it comes to the Eagles-Giants, it's not just about lineups and players. It's in the head. We just know that the Eagles have the Giants numbered right now. I mean, how many wins and losses are in the last 3 or 4 years? I think the Eagles just are in the Giants' head, just like I think the Giants are in the Cowboys' head. And that's why I say you'd rather have OBJ and the whole Eagles offense, not somewhere. Oh, I didn't say that. You're talking about me. You guys have no O-line. What do you mean? Why? Who don't have O-line? Giants? Giants have no O-line. I'm an Eagles fan. What games are you going to? I'm going to. Right now, I don't know what games I'm going to. I don't know if I'm going to go to any. It just depends where I'm at. If I'm have an opportunity, I'll go to some. Maybe it would be somewhere like around the Oakland game, somewhere like that, around the holidays. That may happen. So we'll see. But it just depends. I'm going to wait and see with that. I have nothing planned out. But usually it doesn't matter. I can always get in because I have people who go to the games and I can always get a ticket. Oh, yeah, that's cool, Holly. No problem. But, you know, all right, guys. Okay, Giants had no O-line last year, too, and they still won 11-5 defense, boys. Okay, let me ask you something, Jim. Do you know who I predicted to win the NFC East? I said the Giants. Who do I said has the best team in the NFC East? I think the Giants. So I don't disagree with you about the Giants. I just think that the Eagles are going to sweep them because we have your number right now. These things go in, they come and they go. You'll get hot and you'll beat us 10, 13 games in a row. We'll beat you. The Cowboys will beat us. That's just the flow. And I think that right now we're going to beat them. You were a smart Philly fan, first one I have. Thanks, Jim. I appreciate that, buddy. Mac Hollins, over under 350 yards, 3 touchdowns. I'm going to go over, Holly, because I'm buying the hype about him because of everything I've heard them say. I think he's going to have an impact on this team this year, especially on special teams. But I don't know. I got a feeling about him. Maybe I'm buying the hype too much. But I think definitely him, But we'll see. I mean, we shall see. I take a couple more questions. The Skins will be no longer have us. How many sacks will Derek Barnett have? I think Derek Barnett. I'm gonna go with this. That Philly 500 is wrong about Derek Barnett. And I'm gonna say he has 7 sacks. Matt Collins or Shelton Spunky. I like Gibson because of the speed, but from what I heard, I gotta take Matt Collins right now. I think the Eagles and Giants are 14-4 recently. I think the Eagles and Giants are 14. Yeah, I think so. That's what I think too. It's some ridiculous number. We've been beaten up on the Giants. So at some point it's going to stop. And it doesn't matter how good your team is. It's just that's the way it goes in the NFC East. Go 15 more minutes. All right, I'll do that, Eagles fan. Eagles get lucky against us. Yeah. I mean, look. You had the miracle at the Meadowlands. You had the field goal block that Clyde Simmons runs and picks up. You had Deshaun Jackson run a punt. Yeah, I can't argue that. How can you argue that with those kind of wins? But that affects things, I don't like to hear these drop. Yeah, I heard that too, Holly. But, I'm just saying when they drafted him, I initially was excited because the guy had a lot of speed. And when you have that kind of speed, I thought that was something the Eagles lacked. That's why I was excited about him. But from what I've heard of OTAs and stuff, it hasn't looked good. And if he can't make the team, if he doesn't, play good and make the team, that's his problem. What if Barnett surpassed Reggie in all-time sacks? I'll be eating my words for a long time if he does that. Do we trade Jordan Matthews for a corner or line? I don't think so. I think it's too hard to do that right now. I definitely don't. Giants do a lot of slants, no chance for sacks. Yeah, but Eli also is a deer in headlights sometimes. And the Eagles have a way of getting him. Look, the Eagles have a way of getting to him and pounding him. I know. Look, the Giants got to take a beating when it comes to Eagles. And I think the Eagles will get a lot of sacks on him because this is more than how good your team is or whatever. The Eagles own the Giants right now. That's the way this whole momentum is going. Watch Eli let you up and get those 2 wins. Yeah. Hey, look, week 3, you guys beat us. I have to come on here. I have to apologize for saying that the Giants would get swept by the Eagles. I have to eat my words. I'll even do it live, and I'll let all you Giant fans come and just pound me with questions. I'll fight. Just let's go. You guys come and you take. I'll take it. I'll take it if I'm wrong. I'll take it. Yeah, me too. I can't wait. Then how do we calculate the last 3 seasons? Yeah, exactly. We're in the Giants' head. Do you think that Rasul Douglas will be our quarterback starter, and if Sidney Jones gets healthy, who would start? I think Rasul Douglas is going to start. I personally think Sidney Jones will sit the whole year, and then I think next year Rasul Douglas and Sidney Jones will be your 2 starting corners. That's what I think. We need corners there. If we can have corners this year, we have to be seriously. Yeah, if we can, but we got a lot of young corners. I just think it's going to take time. You know what I mean? And I think that expecting rookies and second-year guys to come in and be shut down right away, it's not realistic. Yeah, we got no corners. I agree. I know you do, Nick. Jim, yeah, we don't have any corners. 1-year deals, I'm adamantly against 1-year deals for a second-year team, a second-year quarterback. a team that's trying to build a second-year quarterback. I'm adamantly against it. I don't think it works. I think it will fail. I know that the NFL is shifting that way. There is evidence of that. I don't think it'll work because I think that playing together, cohesiveness, and stability is what's more important, is being underlooked here. Eli is scared of the O and the, yeah. Eli Manning, look, you talk to Eli Manning, honestly, he'd probably say that he has nightmares of the Eagles helmets coming after him. Okay? The Eagles have owned the, what's the record? Or tell me since 2000, tell me the last 3 years, what's the record? Eagles and Giants. And then you tell me that the Eagles don't own the Giants right now? That's like when the Cowboys say to the Giant fans, we're going to beat you, we're better than you, and you beat them twice last year. You already know that they're not, that they're out of their mind. That's how I feel. Well, we're going to beat the Giants because we always beat the Giants. Even if you're up like 25 points in the fourth quarter, something will happen. I know that, but still, Eli ain't scared. Yeah, he isn't scared. I don't think he's scared, but he has that look of being like a deer in headlights. And then he starts doing this. And that's Eli Manning. Eli will never get scared. Okay? Maybe not. Look, I definitely think that if Eli Manning gets into the playoffs, and I do expect the Giants to be a playoff team, I think they're probably going to win the division. I expect Eli Manning to be scary, not scared. Scary person to want to play in the playoffs. I do think that. Eagles own Eli. He will always throw. Yeah, it always seems like that right now, Eagles fans. Well, always seems like that. How they weigh. Eli is our bitch, and he won't. I agree. I'm counting on it. That's why I've guaranteed an Eagles sweep of the New York Giants. I've guaranteed it, and I believe it, and I believe it'll happen. It's just the way I think. If I'm wrong, I'll get on there live and go, all right, we're live. All the Giant fans, come on in. Let's do this. I'll give my speech, and then you let me have it. That's just Eli. Look, you got to respect that look. I respect that look for a deer in the woods. One more question. If we suck, how do you beat Dallas and lose to us, the Eagles? One more question. If we suck, how do you beat Dallas and lose us, Eagles? When it comes to NFC East, when it comes to division teams, it doesn't, in my opinion, it doesn't matter how good the teams are, what the records are. They beat each other up. It's just always the way it's been. Even if they sweep, who cares? Giants will. Yeah, well, that's been the Giants' argument, Jim, for a long time. So make it again. I mean, I've heard it. That's true. But let's focus on now. Let's focus on this year. Eli is my favorite quarterback to sack. Your face is priceless. Yeah, it is priceless. I also used to like sacking Tony Romo. But I'll tell you, the best part of the Giants when we would beat him or sack him was when Coughlin gets pissed off. That face. I mean, do you remember when Deshaun ran that touchdown back and Coughlin went right after the punter and just started screaming? That's what I loved about Coughlin. What is a grass strain made of? I don't know. Molecules. I don't know. Yeah, grass. He sat in the dark for, yeah. I like watching his face when he raised two Super Bowls. Yeah, I bet you did. I would hear. I believe you. I think Giants will lose their first game to Dallas. I think the Giants are going to sweep the Cowboys. I think the Eagles are going to sweep the Giants. Everybody else is going to split. Do you think the Eagles should have some more jersey colors? Yeah, I think that the Eagles jersey situation, the Eagles haven't done anything in their jersey in like since the 90s. They are so due for an upgrade jersey. And having a new quarterback, a franchise quarterback, your face of your franchise, you would think they would do something with their jerseys. They would update it. I'm not saying you go back to the Kelly Green days, although I believe Eagles are Kelly Green, okay? But I would like to see a new jersey that you take the colors that we've been for the last however many years, and then you take the old Kelly Green, mix it up, make something up, put it all in there, and come out with a brand new jersey, couple jerseys. That's what I would like to see the Eagles do. And the NFL has some stupid rules about like different helmet. You can only have one type of helmet or stuff like that, or two, that kind of thing. Cowboys great offensive line dominates, but the Giants D-line dominate. Yeah, Jim. Well, it just Alonzo. Yeah, Kelly Green, baby. Yeah, Jim. What you're saying. That's just the way it goes. And division matchups, these NFC East matchups. You notice how it doesn't matter how bad one team is. They always seem to beat the other. It's always going to be tough. It doesn't matter how good one is or one isn't. They just match up that way. It's always been like that. Like when Dallas went 1-15, they beat the Redskins. I think we match up well against the Cowboys, and that's why we'll win. They have more talent, but the strings will win. Yeah, I agree. I think you guys match up very, very well against the Cowboys. I totally agree. You guys match up well. I think your defensive ends are good enough to get pressure on Dallas. Enough pressure, and you can stop the run. And I think those things are why you do it. Do you see the Eagles sweeping the Cowboys? No. I think the Eagles will split with the Cowboys, and they will split with the Redskins, but they're going to sweep the Giants. The Giants are going to sweep the Cowboys and split with the they'll get swept by the Eagles, but they'll sweep the Cowboys, split with the Redskins, and get swept by the Eagles. If Carson Wentz gets injured, how many touchdowns will Nick Foles have? If Wentz, let's say Wentz goes down for how long? Like all year? I would say, I'd say like 17, 18. Doug Peterson would probably go into like ultra conservative. I'm not doing anything but 1 yard passes. So I'll say 15 touchdowns if Wentz goes. If Wentz goes down for more than 1 or 2 games, the season's over. JPP came to camp, great shape, but he will get. JPP is a stud. Look, I'm a big fan of JPP. JPP is a stud. He was my second guy behind Earl Thomas that I wanted, and JPP to me is a very good defensive end. Don't put that evil on us. It's not me. Somebody asked the question. Giants deal will do great this year. Yeah, I think they will. I think the Eagles' interior line is better, but I think the Giants' defensive ends are better. That's what I think. And I think the Giants have a better secondary, obviously, than the Eagles. But I like my Jordan Hicks. But the Giants they match up well against the Cowboys. Look, they beat them twice. And it's funny because when you talk to Cowboy fans, they say, "Well, it's only by 1 point. It's only by 1 point." I don't care. It doesn't matter. 1 point is still a win. You know what I mean? You got to win. Can't keep his finger. Yeah, I hear you. Spunky, that's pretty good. I have to try to remember and use that. Man, this is fun. This is fun, by the way. I'm having fun. Hope you guys know that. I like talking to y'all. Giant fans, Dallas fans, everybody. I like talking to everybody. As long as you're cool, I'm cool. You know what I mean? I missed that question about the Eagles quarterback Super Bowl team or whatever. Hicks is a stud. You don't see my question before, but Hicks is he made great interception versus my Giants, but the Eagles couldn't finish it off. Yeah, they couldn't finish off a lot of stuff last year. That was a big problem. Hopefully that'll change. Part of it is you had a rookie coach. You had a rookie quarterback. You had, no wide receivers, no real running back in my opinion. So you had a lot of problems. But we'll see what goes this year. I think that the receivers and the offense is better. I think the quarterback is going to be better. And then I also think, to me, the question actually is, who is the coach going to be better? That I don't know. That is a great question for me that I'm just not sure of. Remember when the Eagles fans hated the Hicks pick? Good time. Yeah, I remember it. But I was not one. I actually liked the Hicks pick. But I didn't have a YouTube video back then, so I couldn't prove it. But I'll be proving a lot of things to you in the future. I think that the D-line is as good as it looks. The corners will have less pressure. And hey, that's what you hope. That's what you hope happens. I tell you one thing about Schwartz. I don't like Schwartz because I don't like that he don't blitz. I think we need to blitz more. I think we should be blitzing more. As an Eagle fans, who will go to the Pro Bowl? I'm going to say Carson's going to go. Jordan Hicks is going to go. Malcolm Jenkins is going to go. Sproles is going to go. And then Jeffrey, if he can stay healthy. Jeffrey gets hurt a lot. Yeah, he does. That's what worries me, you know. How good do you think the Redskins do? I think the Redskins are going to be horrendous. Now, they may have some talent left on the team, but I just think that when your franchise quarterback wants out, he don't care how much money. He is already complaining. You already know it's a problem. I mean, how long before they have to pull him or the whole thing collapses? I think the Redskins are going to be a colossal, it's going to be bad. And I think that it'll end up with Cousins moving to San Francisco and Gruden will be out in Washington. But I don't understand why he doesn't want to sign with them. What made you decide to join YouTube? Thank you, Spunky. I was, people always say you should go on there because you like to rant. Then I was listening to a lot of people, and I had a lot of different opinions. I always felt like it was like always Eagles cheerleaders, like nothing wrong, everything, and you're always just getting one side. And I had another side to what I think. So that's why I came on, I think we go 9-7 and lose after a wild card. Yeah, I think 9-7. Here's what I think. I think we're going to go into that last game with Dallas, 8-7. I think we're going to be in a situation where we need certain things to fall to get into the wild card. We're going to beat Dallas, and if those things fall the right way, I think we'll get in the wild card. If they don't, then obviously we'll miss it. But I think it's going to be right around there because I see the Eagles getting hot at the end of the year, not in the beginning. So that's what I think. But we'll see. We'll totally see what happens. It's going to be one game at a time. And I'll do another prediction show after preseason because things change. Guys get hurt. You see the way that they're doing stuff. And hey, McNabb, oh yeah, you don't like McNabb, Jim? You must have bad dreams of him. He really tortured you guys. McNabb is overrated. I don't think McNabb is over. Well, look, if you tell me Donovan McNabb is a Hall of Fame quarterback, I don't agree. I don't think he is. I liked McNabb. My dad used to call him a 9-to-5 player because he felt like McNabb came, went, played, did his practice, and went home. He felt like he wasn't worried enough about the little things. I don't know if I agree with that. I just think that he's not a Hall of Famer, but he's the best Eagles quarterback in franchise history from a statistic and win percentage. My favorite Eagles quarterback was Randall Cunningham. My favorite era in Eagles history, that Andy Reid years where we were in the playoffs all the time and the championship games, that was the funnest, one of the funnest, but also very frustrating. I really loved the Buddy Ryan era. I really loved the whole attitude he had, the Randall Cunningham, Reggie White. That era to me was, I was young and coming up at that, so that was probably my funnest. What is a target position for this? Way too early, no. I would say running back, linebackers, and then, if we'll see, receiver may be back in play if people leave. It just depends. McNabb was he was. Yeah, McNabb was butthurt. Tio got more attention than him over a piece of whatever. Yeah, well, you know what? He was. And that's a shame that his ego definitely got in the way of him and Owens. And I'll tell you what could have been with Owens and McNabb, would have been awesome. I think the Eagles win a playoff against the Bucks. Yeah. That would be awesome, man, if they won. I hope the Eagles win a playoff game. I want it. Remember when Owens stood on the star? Yeah, Jim. That's when I became a T.O. fan. Seriously, when he stood in the star, I loved it. I loved it so much. And I'll tell you another moment, a T.O. moment. When the Giants were kicking the Niners' butt, and then the 49ers came back and T.O. just tore them up. That was great, too. You know what I mean? But I loved seeing T.O. do that thing on the star. How awesome was that? The league was so mad. People were so mad about it, but I loved it. And the Dallas players, they're all pissed off. I loved it. And I think the 49ers players should have gone out there and stuck up for Owens. And I love that Owens did it. To me, I think that kind of stuff should be more in football. Would you rather see Jones on the punt and return ready around week 8 and get some reps this year or shut him down here? Chris, I personally, I think I have to err on the side of caution. An Achilles injury, especially for a corner who has to shift so much and move so much, is hard to come back. And for him to come back then when you're in contention and then put that on him when he's still trying to come back from injury, I think is too much. I say shut him down for the year. Let him learn the mental part of the game. Let him work with guys like Malcolm Jenkins on how to be a professional, how to study, how to act in the locker room. Let him learn all that stuff. Let him watch from the sidelines if he can, and let him learn. And then let the injury heal a whole year, and then bring him back. I think that would be better. Man, you got to be getting tired. Yeah, I'm all right, Fish. Who do you think should sign Darrelle Revis? Probably a team that literally thinks that they can win a Super Bowl this year, I would say. I don't know which team exactly. Yeah, Tia should, of him not being first whole. Yeah, the NFL, if you look at how they are, they blacklist guys. They don't like guys. They hold things against them. And I think that that's horrible. I think that that's horrible what they do, and I'm always against it. Revis to Dallas. Yeah, let him go to Dallas because he'll get torched. What age range is younger player? I'm trying to see say that again. I missed it. How's your family? My family's great. My girls are playing. They're playing some game with each other. My wife is downstairs, and they're all good. Isn't it like? No, it's not 2 a.m. here. It's it's probably earlier. It's 7:30 here. 7:30 p.m. So it's all good here. I can't believe we're still going. This is cool. See that Philly 500, he don't just come on real quick and leave you hanging. Philly 500 comes and goes hardcore with you. He's hardcore. He's with the people. I'm a people person. Yeah, you are my peoples. I'm with you. No matter what team you are. You're a really cool guy. I love your. Thanks, Taco. I appreciate that. What age range is young players? I'm trying to see what are young building blocks. I think young players are 25, 26. When I get to around 27, I kind of look from like 27 to like 30 as your prime, and then you start to age. So to me, young is 26 or under. That's kind of how I look at it. But I mean, everybody thinks differently. But once you get to like 27, 28, you should be maxing out. What other players don't you like in the league right now? Don't I like? Like, don't like. I don't like. I don't like Alex Smith. I'm not an Alex Smith fan. Not, a lot of the Cowboy fans I don't like. No, I like Beckham Jr. Like, I respect Beckham as far as talent. Like, those guys are talented. To me, it's usually never like I don't like this player personally. Maybe if it's a Cowboy or Giant, something like that. But usually it's like teams I don't like. What player do you think will lead our defense in takeaways? Jordan Hicks. I think Jordan Hicks runs the table. I think Jordan Hicks, I'm telling you I think Jordan Hicks will be a defensive candidate for MVP, for defensive MVP. Defensive player of the year, I should say. Do you think Carson Wentz will surpass McNabb? I think he has potential, but we'll see what he does now. If you're the best one day, I might do one of these teams. Yeah, you should do it, Spunky. It is fun. What do you think of Andy Reid? I have a lot of respect for Andy Reid and what he did. I think that I don't blame Andy Reid for not winning Super Bowls. I blame Jeffrey Lurie for putting non-football guys in charge in those days, like Joe Banner, and then not going ahead and getting the one free agent guy you needed. All those years we were going and just missing, we needed that one guy, and they waited all the way till T.O. So overall, I like Andy Reid. Some of the things I didn't like with his play calling and that kind of thing, I thought it was stupid. But look, when your players like you and they play for you and they're willing to play for you for that long, and then they retire and they still protect you, there's something you're doing right. You know what I mean? So I got to give him that. But to me, I would have took Dick Vermeil. The Eagles are in great shape. The age department, we're going to be a force for a long time. Let's go. We are, but we got to make sure that the guys... Now, here's what I want you to do. Go look at those young guys And then look at how many guys have 1-year contracts. That's what I worry about. How many I think it's like 19 guys are in the last year of a contract. That's pretty tough, really. If Nelson Aguilar scores 10 touchdowns, would you buy? No, maybe I would. I don't know. Maybe. I think about that one. If Alshon has a good year, how hard do you think it will be to resign him next offseason? Chris, that worries the crap out of me, right? Because if you remember before the season, before free agency started, they were talking about, like, he wanted $18 million, over $18 million. And I didn't want him for that price. And then I wonder if he didn't get that money, so he took a 1-year deal. He said, I'm going to go play with the Eagles because they got a good up-and-coming quarterback. I'm going to blow up my stats, and then I'm going to go to the highest bidder. That worries the crap out of me. I'll be honest with you. Because, look, you don't know if he's loyal to the Eagles. He wasn't drafted by the Eagles. He wasn't an Eagle. So you don't know what's in his heart. We have to wait and see. So, yeah, that's a definite big fear for me. I'm very fearful of that, for sure. Oh, yeah. If you guys lose Jeffrey, you'll have a bad wire. Yeah, Gregory. Yeah, exactly. And not only that, we can lose Jeffrey. We can lose Jordan Matthews both at the same time. That's my problem with the 1-year contracts. Like, with a guy so young, with a quarterback so young, why not just say, look, we may not go to the playoffs in year 2, but we're going to slowly build this thing slowly and methodically and get guys in here who will be long-term signings. That's what I would have liked. But if they can get Alshon to sign an extension and he has a great year, then I can say that their plan worked. But right now we don't know. That's what worries me the most. Giants will lose people this year, so we'll both be. Yeah, but you have a quarterback that is at the end of this rope. You got a small window. So you're doing that. You're supposed to do that at the end of the career. We're talking about a quarterback with a second year. Imagine if they lose everybody, then he goes in his third year with all new guys. Now it's going to take him 2 more years to get everybody on the same page. Now we're talking about 5 years in his career, and we're just building something. Yeah, but like I said, Giants, they're in win now mode. Giants probably going to lose Justin, maybe. Yeah, well, it happens. Jeffrey looked committed to Philly from what I've seen and how much he loves Wentz. Yeah, Holly, that's what he says. That's what we have to hope. But we don't know till it happens, right? But, we just have to wait and see. I mean, anything can happen. Philly, where are you from? You said it was 7. Where are you born in Philly? I was born in Philly. Lived in South Jersey in Washington Township. Went to high school, Washington Township, a little bit Gloucester Catholic. Then I moved, I lived in D.C. for some time. I lived in Vegas for some time. I met my wife who's out here in California where we are for another year or 2. And then we're going to probably go back east. Janoris Jenkins, best corner in NFC East. Yeah, I like Janoris Jenkins. I wanted the Eagles to sign him, actually. Yeah, I guess so. I'm not a big Josh Norman guy. You know what I mean? I'm not a big Norman guy. Maybe Norman's still better. I don't know. But I wanted Jenkins when he was with the Rams. I wanted him. Do you like Philly, as they say, better, or New York City? I like Philly better because I know it better. But when I was young, we used to go weekly up to New York, to Manhattan all the time and stuff like that. So I know New York. I know how it is. But I mean, that's where I'm comfortable. I love how the teams with Chip Kelly gone, family again. I love it. Yeah, I agree. I think it is. What up, Chris? Will Cousins sign long term? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think he's going to go. I think Cousins is gone. I don't think he cares how much money they give him. That's what's weird. It's like, what the hell is going on in Washington? It's like, seriously, what is really going on with them? I have no idea. I don't watch soccer. I am anti-soccer. I gotta be honest. I hate soccer. Like, why kick the ball when you can pick it up and run with it? That's how I feel about soccer. Do you think Cousins is over? No, I don't think. Well, if you're saying he's an elite top 5 quarterback, I say no. But can Cousins win a Super Bowl on the right team if you build a team around him? I think, yeah. I don't know if I say he's overrated. You want to use those hands, huh? Cousins going to the 49ers after this year. That's what I think, Spunky. That's what I think. If they do not sign Kirk, will the Skins collapse? Yeah, I think what's going to happen is he's going to go to San Francisco. I think they're going to fire the coach, and I think the Redskins will start all over. If they lose Kirk Cousins, they're going to have to start all over. I mean, if you're a player, how much can you really want to play for a guy? Or for, if you're a Redskin player and your quarterback wants out and he doesn't want to sign, do you really believe that you're going to do anything? Will Kaepernick get signed this year? I don't think he will. I think they're blackballing Kaepernick. I think they're making him be an example to speak up, which I'm totally against. Will Cam Newton have a bounce back year, Sean? Yeah, I think so. Do you think the Eagles will sweep the Redskins this season? No, I have them splitting. The Skins honestly are pretty talented. I don't see why they're so bad. Am I missing something? How do you evaporate? So basically what I think the Redskins situation is that the quarterback doesn't want to stay there. They may have some talent, but they can't work a deal out with him. If you can't work a deal out with with your team, and the quarterback who is somewhat good wants to go, you're in trouble. You know what I mean? Kaepernick is horrible, though. Why would anyone sign him? Well, they may not sign him like as a starter, but I mean, I don't know. There's some backups that may be worse. Look at Daniels. Tell a Joe. If I think of one, I will. I don't plan my stuff. It just comes to me. So if I just think of something on the spot, I'll say it. You know what I mean? I don't script anything. I mean, you can tell I don't script. They'll sign him back and let him go. Then I'll lose all my respect for him. Yeah, probably. A joke, the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, that's a good joke. I like Dallas Cowboys winning division. That's funny. But the Redskins have suffered a long time. Why do you have us losing to the Chargers? Well, here's my thing. When I look at it, there's a couple things I'm looking at. I think with the amount of guys with one-year contracts, it takes a while to get going. You're flying out west, right? And you're playing a team that has a pretty good quarterback, is a pretty good passer, that has some offensive weapons going against your weak corners. So that's why I think the Chargers are going to beat the Eagles. It's more of a matchup type thing at the wrong time for the Eagles, while they're still trying to come together as a team. That's kind of why I said it. Tampa will be good. Tampa is scary. They have some scary weapons, and they are scary. I don't think Melvin Gordon got lucky. Who do you think will win a ring first, the Sixers or the Eagles? If I had to put money on it right now, and I was putting money, I would say the Sixers, because I think it's easier to build a basketball team than a football team. I think it's very hard to build a football team. What do you mean weak corners, Patrick? Yeah, I forgot about him. Patrick Robinson, Hall of Famer. No, I mean, when I looked at the Chargers, I look at it more of a, not that, we're better than them, or they're better than us, or they don't. I'm trying to look at it like matchup, time of year, where you're going. You're flying out west. We're trying to get together as a team. We're trying to build something. It's just the timing, If it's later in the year, I think we win. Do you think Zeke will get suspended? I heard he was, Sean. Is it true? I heard he got suspended 1 or 2 games. So, I don't know. I heard he was. Would you rather watch soccer or golf? I'd rather watch golf. I think so. If you can, why kick the ball when you can pick it up and run? Run like hell. No, he's not yet. Do you like the Flyers? Yeah, I like the Flyers, but I'm very annoyed at the Flyers right now. I don't like what they've done to that team over the last few years. You know what I mean? If Embiid injured his leg again, it's time to get rid of him. It depends how bad. I am a conspiracy theorist, so I believe that he was hurt and banged up this year. I believe it was all bull. I think he was a little banged up, and I think once they found out that Ben Simmons couldn't play and wasn't going to play a whole year, they shut down Embiid on purpose. Because you notice how he was supposed to have surgery, and then all of a sudden it was like, guess what? Embiid isn't really got a meniscus tear. They figured it out. I can't. Your comment's gone. So that's what I think. Who's tougher, football players or hockey players? That's a good question. I think hockey. Uh, I mean, football players take a beating, but they got helmets on. Those guys got no teeth. They lose their teeth. They play a game that they lose. They all lose their teeth. And you lose your teeth. Hockey players are tough, man. They get stitches and they go. You play a football player gets stitches out 8 weeks. Ben Simmons and Marco Fultz are going to be a double threat. I think so, Taco. You know, and I talked about Lonzo Ball too. I talked about how much I liked him, but I think Ben Simmons is similar to him. That's why I'm okay with not getting him. Do you think the Pats cheated the Eagles out of Super Bowl? If so, a lot of people think so. I don't think they cheated. But I do think it is suspicious about how they knew all the Eagles' play calls, all the Eagles' signals, all in the second half. I have my suspicions, but I guess I don't associate it with us losing. I don't think we lost because of it. I think we lost because we started off and had a chance to go up big, and McNabb didn't play his best. A bad football team can become a good one in no time, but one star basketball where it's tough to develop. Yeah, but how many teams in football come together in 1 year because of free agent signings? So all these 1 year deals, they come together and then they become good in 1 year. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. They could change their way because of a new coach or a quarterback or something like that, but signing a bunch of 1 year deals and then saying you're going to win usually doesn't happen. The only Philly teams outside the Eagles I like is the only team outside Philly. Yeah, I need to start talking about the Phillies more. I was watching them early on in the season, and they were so bad I didn't want to pay for the baseball to watch them lose. I just couldn't do it. Rank your favorite sports only using top 4 sports. Okay, football won, and by like huge margins. Football way huge. Second is basketball, hockey, and then baseball. I would say. Is Reddick here only for the money? Yeah. I think partly. Sure. I mean, you have to pay him a lot of money for him to stay 1 year. Probably. Yeah, but I'm okay with that. I understand that. I think he likes Brett Brown. I think he knows there's a lot of young guys and he has value because of what he could bring them. So I think it's I think it's good. I think the Sixers made a mistake because they draft guard and Fultz, and now Brett Brown wants to put Simmons at the one. Okay, because look, the thing with Fultz is he can play point guard and a shooting guard. He can play both guards. Ben Simmons, they want to experiment at point guard because he's a better passer than he's a shooter. Go look at Magic Johnson, old tapes like that. If you get a guy as big as him who can pass and be a point guard, he would create so many mismatches. And then Fultz can hit the shot. We know Fultz can shoot. So that's why they're doing it. And the great thing about it is if it doesn't work with Ben Simmons at the point guard, you now have Fultz that you can put back. That's all. I believe Ben Simmons is very good at driving. Eric Snow is better than Iverson. Yeah, I won't even respond to that comment. That's the joke of jokes, my friend. I disagree. It's crazy how much Eagles have changed from the end of 2015 to now. So much optimism in the future. Yeah, Holly. Yeah, they have. A lot of changes. Getting Carson Wentz is the biggest thing. And now, look, we'll see what happens. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen with these 1 year deals. It's not often you see a team go out and sign a bunch of 1 year deals and be very, very successful. You don't see it happen much. So it'll be interesting to see if it does. Would you rather have Brian Westbrook or T.O. back? I'll say Brian Westbrook because T.O. didn't play long enough with us. But I really wish T.O. and McNabb could have worked things over. I really do. You know what I mean? I really wish they could have played a few more years together because they could have been great. What is the greatest Eagle game you ever went to? The game where McNabb was young, and it was at FedEx Field, and he did that whole move. You know what I mean? I was right behind the end zone, so he was coming towards me, and I remember in that game it was like some huge goal line stand, and the Eagles won, and that was really close, and it was like that feeling where you're young and you know you're getting good, and it was really exciting. And I would say that was probably the most exciting game. I did go to a game in 2010 in Jacksonville where Vic went off and had Deshaun and Macklin. That was cool. Would you be able to produce a set of Foles in a game, Philly? No, probably not. Puke choke equals yeah. A lot of people think that, Sean. Philly, do you play fantasy? Vic, I play tons of fantasy football. I love fantasy football. I play dynasty football. Yeah. Favorite Eagles player of all time, Reggie White. I have to agree. Gregory McNabb was like, yeah. A lot of Philly fans don't like McNabb. You know what I mean? Definitely. Andy Reid should have told McNabb to get over. Yeah, I think so, Jack. They should have figured out how to work that out. I mean, they could have been great. What they could have done together in like 3 or 4 more years, we could have won something. But there were too many big egos, and I think that they made a mistake with McNabb. Tyler, do you play Madden? Yeah, I do. I'm not as good as I used to be. I don't play as much as I used to, but I do play Madden. I'll probably get it this year and play, and I will definitely let all my subscribers, whoever's subscribed me, come and play me, and we'll go at it, and I'll let you kick my butt, and I'll put it on video or something. I love McNabb, but he wasn't on. You got trees? You got trees? That's what your SATs are made of. What do Eagles, Bills, and Vikings all have in common? I don't know. We all have the greatest player of all time in one position. Do you have? I have both, but I play my PlayStation 4 more. But I have both. LT. The one-year deals are a concern, but my priorities are Jeffrey Matthews and Jernigan. Blunt, Chris. Yeah, I agree. But remember one thing. Here's what I guess I'm saying is it always takes 2 to tango, right? The player has to want to come back. You have to want to sign him. We've seen Dawkins go. We saw Macklin go. I saw Reggie White. I saw Keith Jackson. I've seen it so many years that it's hard for me to feel comfortable that it's just going to be okay. That's all I'm saying. It's just hard for me to think that because I've seen so many years in a row where it hasn't been, you know? Well, like this, I got a ring, but it's not a Super Bowl ring. It's my Super Bowl ring right there. You know, what are you going to do? Yeah, I mean, look, we got no Super Bowls, and you got that on us, but one day we're going to win. Our day's coming soon. So do you have the Eagles winning the division? I don't, Jonas. I have them 9-7 with an opportunity to maybe get into the playoffs. I think the Giants will win the division. But I'm going to do another prediction show on whatchamacallit, on after the preseason. So when the preseason's over, I'll reevaluate and relook at everything. Do you think the one-year deals will be extended at the end of the season? Tyler, it depends. If the player produces, I hope so. But that is a very big concern for me because the player has to want to come back. The money has to be right. And I just don't see how they're going to give all this money to all these guys if they're all good. NFC East has the most Super Bowls. Yeah, that's true. At least one Eagles spear won't leave rings. Yeah. Did you play sports? Yeah, I did. I played a lot of sports growing up. I used to play baseball and basketball and football growing up. High school, I went to just football, and that was pretty much it after that. What if Deshaun Jackson signed back with the Eagles and Terrell Pryor came to Philadelphia and still had Jeff? Would that be... I don't know if it would be a Super Bowl team, but it would be a hell of an offense. It would be an explosive offense. That's for sure. I would have loved that. I would have loved that kind of speed. But I still think the defense would have been a problem. I don't see how you can win a Super Bowl and be a New England Patriots team with that defense. I think it still would be hard, but it would be fun. That would be awesome. I never played soccer, no. What position did you play in football? I played tight end, and I played linebacker, and a little bit of safety. I was a defensive guy. I liked playing defense. Why do you have sweeping the Giants but not the Skins? The Skins are terrible, if anything. Okay, because here's how I see it, right? It's not just about who's the best team all the time. And when you deal with division rivalries, it doesn't matter how good one team is. Teams have their numbers. Teams are on a roll. Those kind of things come in. Right now, we own the Giants. Right now, we've struggled with the Redskins over the years. So it doesn't matter that we may be way better than the Redskins. When it's a division game and when you deal with that, it's just that's always the way it falls out. It always falls out. Just think when Dallas went 1-15. Who did they beat? They beat the Redskins. It's just always going to be that way. Division rivalries are always close, you know? Is Matt Stafford underrated? I don't know that he's underrated. I think he's right where he is. I think, you know, he's viewed as a guy who's very talented, very good, but hasn't really won anything. And that's kind of what he's been, right? So I don't know that he's underrated. I think he's right where he should be. I'm doing good, buddy. How are you? I think Kirk Cousins is a pretty good quarterback. I don't think he's an elite quarterback. I don't think he's like, you know, a top 5 quarterback. I don't even know if maybe he's top 10 at his peak, at his ceiling. But I think that he's kind of quarterback that could win a Super Bowl or win for a team with a team that is good around him. I don't think he's going to carry a team on his back. But I think he's worth, you know, he's valuable to a team. He could start and be effective, and if you have a good enough team, I think he can win. So I see him like, you know, like the old Trent Green type guy, you know what I mean? Do I know EDP? I do not know EDP, no. I know who he is. I don't know him personally. No. I think the rest of the time because they feel they can't win. So maybe Eagle fan, but you know, from what I'm understanding of Kirk Cousins, he's not really wanting to sign with them either. Any quarterback can win a Super Bowl, but not many quarterbacks can lead. I don't think any quarterback can win a Super Bowl. I mean, you could get a team like Baltimore where you have one of the greatest defenses ever to play that can shut down teams, and then you can win. But I don't think any quarterback can win. I don't agree with that at all. I don't think that. I think that's what the Eagles used to think, and it's a problem. You know what I mean? Who do you think the best quarterback is? Eli Manning, Philip Rivers, or Ben Roethlisberger? Eli Manning, Philip Rivers. I'd say Ben Roethlisberger. I think Ben Roethlisberger. Do you think Wentz can win a Super Bowl with the Eagles? Yeah, I do. One day I think he will. I think it will happen. I think it's going to happen. I think Carson Wentz is going to become an elite franchise quarterback in this league. You know what I mean? Come on, Gregor. I'm sorry. I like Ben. I like Big Ben. Ben Roethlisberger's overrated? Come on. Are you friends with any other Eagle YouTubers? Look, yeah, I've become friendly with a couple. I've been on Bitter Birds a couple times with Adrian. I've been done some stuff with Joey Shakes. And then there's, you know, some guys that I don't know well, but you know, they're always nice and cordial to me, and they're always good to me. So like Desert Eagle and those kind of guys, Nitro, they're always nice and good to me, and you know, so you know, I like all of them. But I've done stuff with Joey Shakes and I've done stuff with Bitter Birds. His Bell Brown top 10 O-line can beat Pats and lose stupid teams already. He's got 2 Super Bowls also. Ben is great on the D. I think Ben is great. I mean, look how he won his Super Bowl against Arizona. I mean, you got to give it to him. I mean, look, Ben won 2 Super Bowls. I don't understand how he's overrated. He's a big dude, and he, you know, would kind of. I don't know what you're asking. What are you asking me? The rest won his first. Oh, come on. Yeah, there was some bad calls. Ben has amazing deep ball. He does. And he's got some weapons too, man. He's got a lot of weapons. Well, yeah, that Seattle game was bad. I'll tell you that. The rest were bad that game. But I still think Ben Roethlisberger is awesome, you know. I don't know. I think so, Holly. He might be. Brett Favre, Joe Montana. Simple. Joe Montana. If you were the Patriots, would you propose her for Clayton? No, I would not. I feel Drew Brees should be in Texans and stop the pass of Brady. He would be sick with them. If he was with Houston, Beckham or Brown? Brown. I take Brown. Do you think Carson Wentz will have a better career than Dak Prescott? Yes, I do, Spunky. Yes, I do. What is my grandpa's name? Frank. And Joe. I definitely think that that's the case. Yes. That one defensive rookie. Wait, airborne, that one, defensive rookie. I guess that's not for me. Will Derek Barnett what? Win rookie of the year? No. I love these random questions. A lot of these free agents aren't key players. Well, like what do you mean? Like who? What free agents? Do you think Nelson could take Matthew's spot? I think they're promoting that. I think that they're promoting it. I don't think it'll happen. I think they want it to, but I think he'll become Aguilar of old. Rodgers or Brady? Brady. I think Big V has a lot of talent, really. I'd like to see him play more. I can't wait to see him. I like Big V. I love Phillip Rivers. I'm a big Phillip Rivers fan. I think Phillip Rivers is so underrated. I think he's had some crap around him, but I love Phillip Rivers. You know, this guy played, right? Do you remember the game where I think he had a torn Achilles or something like that? And he hurt his knee, and he played through it in pain, and LT had a headache or something, LaDainian Tomlinson, and he came out, and Rivers played. I think Rivers is a very underrated quarterback. I think he's tough. I just don't think he ever had a team built around him the right way. But I love Phillip Rivers. You know, I'm a big Phillip Rivers fan. I love Phillip Rivers. I think Lane should stay at the right. He's a great and big move V to left. Well, here's the thing. I look at Lane Johnson as the best lineman on their team right now only because Peters is older. If Peters was younger, it'd be Peters. So if I put Lane Johnson to left tackle, which I believe if he went to left tackle, he would be the best left tackle in the league. If I think he's going to be the best left tackle in the league, I'm putting him at left tackle because I need to protect my blind side. Do I think Ben and Phillip Rivers are better than Eli? No, I didn't say that. Should have picked O.J. Howard. Still upset about that. Jesse, I'm with you totally 100%. Is Alan Barber good? I think he's average. I think Warmack is better. Definitely wanted O.J. Howard. My God. You know, Ben and Eli, each Rivers there. Yeah, I understand that. You asked me if I liked him. I like Rivers. I think he's underrated. I didn't say he's a Hall of Famer. I didn't say he was better than Big Ben. I didn't even say he was better than Eli. I just said I like him. I think he's a very underrated quarterback. I'm not answering that. Ask me a question I want to answer, and I'll answer it. I'm not answering what fish. What the hell? Don't be a dingbat. Don't be a dingbat. Ask me questions. You know, I love Phillip Rivers, but I'm not saying he's better. Eli only has a ring because of that defense. Look, you got to give Eli credit. He went into road games and went to Green Bay. They went to Dallas. Eli made some throws. He got a little lucky too, but yeah. Who's the best quarterback? Eli Rivers, Ben. I would say Ben. Ben. Then you have to give it to Eli. Then Rivers. But I like Rivers a lot. Yeah, that catch by Edelman was insane. The Eagles have Ertz, Selleck, and Burton tight end. Wasn't a need. No, well, who cares if it's a need? If you take the best player available in the first round. So I don't understand this. Because people go, well, they ain't a need, it ain't a need. But then a guy gets hurt, a guy leaves, something happens. Then it's a need. And then you go, oh, well, we need a tight end. You take the best talent on the board. To me, O.J. Howard is a beast. I think he's going to be a stud. I like Rivers also. He doesn't get the credit he deserves. That's true. He doesn't. I like Rivers a lot. 18 free agents, only 5 or 6 are important players. Well, those 5 or 6 players, Holly, have to be signed back, right? If they're not signed back, we got problems. And those important guys probably need the most money. O.J. Howard is better than Wetz. Okay, who do you think is better, Breeze or Rivers? Breeze. You have to give it to Breeze. Giants beat 15-1 Packers. Remember, yeah. Hardest road. Yeah, definitely. You got to give the Giants credit for what they did on the road, especially in Green Bay. What if the Eagles had Tom Brady? If the Eagles had Tom Brady, there's no more. Dallas has 5 Super Bowls, and the Giants have 5 Super Bowls. The Eagles, they may not have 5, depending upon who the coach is, but the Eagles at least have 3. Rivers is better than Eli. I don't know. I don't want to overvalue. I think sometimes we overvalue if a guy has a ring, if a team has a ring. But sometimes we undervalue it too. I meant to say OJ Howard is better than Ertz. I think he is. Now, Taco, I don't know if you listened to my earlier videos before free agency started, but what I wanted to do, okay, was I wanted to trade Ertz to New Orleans. I wanted to get Brandon Cooks. Then, if I would have gotten Brandon Cooks, I could have then signed Alshon, still signed him to a one-year deal. You still would have been able to do it, and you would have drafted OJ Howard. Doesn't that sound pretty good? Eli plays better when it counts. He does. You gotta give it to him. I'm tired of Ertz too. I'm hoping he has a great year, but I'm not gonna build Ertz up like I did last year. Not gonna do it. So who was the player you wanted in the draft? Any player? My first guy I wanted was Corey Davis. Probably Leonard Fournette, Corey Davis. Those were like the two guys I was hoping, but when it fell, the way it was and we were on the clock, there was a couple guys. OJ Howard, Malik Hooker, the guy slipping my mind, the linebacker from Alabama. Those were the guys at the time when we were on the board I wanted to get. I thought, look, if you would have took Malik Hooker, imagine if you take Malik Hooker and you had Sidney Jones. You realize what kind of secondary you're going to have in 3 or 4 years? Yeah, Reuben Foster was the other guy. I'm excited to watch Hicks too. Blunt, 10 touchdowns. Yeah, I think that's a good number. Yeah, but Ingram was faster in the combat. Yeah, but OJ Howard he's a beast. Man, can you imagine on Tampa Bay? He's got weapons. Him, Evans, Deshaun. I think that's a scary team for everybody that we don't talk a lot about, hear a lot about. I think that is a definite sleeper team. See, I don't think Atlanta's going to win the division. How often do you see a team that loses a Super Bowl come back and then just go right back in the playoffs the next year? It doesn't happen often. Usually they struggle. There's especially the way Atlanta lost. I think Tampa's a big sleeper. OJ Howard would have been great. Malik Hooker was so good that Clemson tested him once, championship game, and he picked to tell you the thing with Malik Hooker. See, Malik Hooker to me reminds me of Earl Thomas in that he can play sideline to sideline. That guy he's the best cover safety. Cover safety, not all around total, but he was the best cover safety in my opinion. He can cover the most ground. And I would have loved to have him. And then you would have gotten him and you would have Malcolm Jenkins. And you need Malcolm Jenkins on, let's say on third downs, you put Malcolm Jenkins in the slot, you have Hooker. Then when Jenkins gets older, you move Jenkins over. It would have been awesome. And then when you get Sidney Jones, man, can you make a video about the 18 free agents who had, I'll do that. I was planning on doing that more towards the end of the year. I don't want to think about them leaving right now because we're just getting ready to get started. What do you think about Cincinnati Bengals because they got Joe Mixon, John Ross? I think the Bengals, all right, look, the Bengals to me, and maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't think they're ever going to win a playoff game because the coach hasn't won. The coach has not won. I can't believe he still didn't get fired after all the years. But the Bengals are going to be talented. They'll be talented. I don't know if that quarterback can win the big game. I don't know if the coach can win the big game. We have to see, Yeah, I agree, Jesse. I totally agree. I still think we should have got Joe Mixon in the second round. Taco, if it was up to me, I would have definitely drafted him in the second round. But it wasn't up to me. I would have drafted him in the second round. I would have immediately tried to trade back to the low third and snag Sidney Jones. Is Jenkins a top 15 safety? Yeah, definitely he's a top 15 safety in the NFL. No question about it. I think he's a top 10 safety in the NFL. And I'd have to go through the names. He may be even lower than that. Do you think Malik Hooker and Jonathan Allen injury history scared teams? I think Jonathan Allen's did. I think that Malik Hooker, teams didn't take him because they wanted to get the offensive talent, those wide receivers and stuff early because they knew that there was so much deep secondary guys in the draft. So it just fell that way that they knew that they could get a secondary guy, corner or safety later, and then take one of those receivers. And I think that's why, because the two teams that I thought he might have ended up, Tennessee and San Diego, both took wide receivers instead. which isn't a bad move from their part. Collins should have won Defensive Player. Yeah, I think so. If you watch I have an old video of my awards for the NFL season. I had him winning Defensive Player of the Year. I agree. What's our top five wide receivers? Well, it'd be Alshon, in my opinion. Alshon, Matthews. Then you have to go Torrey Smith, Aguilar, Hollins. Right? That's five. Is that five? Collins, Jenkins. Yeah, that would be nice. I wanted Landon Collins when he was coming out. I really wanted him. Collins or Jenkins? Collins. One should have made the top one. I don't know, Tyler. I mean, I watched that, but I don't watch it I didn't watch it enough. When I saw Brandon Graham was 93, I rolled my eyes. But the worst thing about it was that they put a decimal point in his numbers. So it was 55 and it was 5.5. I couldn't believe they did that. That was a shot. People should have got upset about it. I got mad. It's like I could talk about my Eagles, but I don't want other people talking about them. Aguilar or Torrey. Torrey dropped more passes than he had. Yeah, I agree. I'm not a fan of Torrey Smith. Dak was 14. What a joke. Yeah, that is a joke. Collins and DRC and Jenkins. Well, how would the Eagles score? I guess we're gonna beat the Giants like we beat them last year. We're gonna do it. You're gonna beat them with just good old play. You could have DRC. I hate DRC. I think he's a bum. He's a dingbat. I don't like DRC. He stunk with us. Will Dak be good this year? I think Dak will be average this year. I think he will be good. I think he'll be above average probably, but I don't think he's going to be what he was last year. I think Wentz is going to outperform him. Torrey Smith had a bad season because of the play call in San Francisco. Yeah, but then the year before that in San Francisco, he also had a bad year. And then his last year in Baltimore was bad. Don't be mad, DRC. Well, he did. He did. I hear what you're saying, Taco. I get it because it was Chip Kelly and stuff, but I don't think he had anything left when he left Baltimore. Do you think Aguilar would drop as much as last year? Yeah, no. Look, Aguilar has physical ability. What Aguilar doesn't have is, he can't get over when he makes a mistake. He's too hard on himself. He has to learn to let it go. If he could do that mentally, I think he could be a player in the league. Torrey Smith is going to get 800. Man, if Torrey Smith gets 800 yards, I will do a video and I will let you write what I say. How about that? Because I don't think it's happening. DRC was great for us because we put him in a position to be good, unlike the Eagles. Yeah, Giants are so great, the Giants. Giants stink. They stink. And they're going to stink again. And you're going to get to the playoffs. And you're going to lose. So it doesn't matter. They stink. I don't really think it, but I just want to say it. Who's having a better year, Sixers or Eagles? I think the Sixers. I mean, how about them Giants? The Giants are killing me. Do you hear about Dak Prescott fake signatures? I didn't hear. I heard something briefly on it, Mike, but somebody tell me what happened. I don't know enough about it. Eli. You guys are crazy. Sometimes I go, man, Eagle fans are pretty delusional. Giant fans seem a little more less delusional. The Cowboy fans are the most delusional of all. But today I'm realizing the Giant fans are as much delusional as the Eagle fans. I'm telling you, Eagle fans and Giant fans are the same thing. Same thing, just two different paths. Will Dale finish his career with the Giants? No. Alshon will be fine. Don't worry. Just try. I just missed. I'm sorry. I was thinking about the other question. Re-ask that, Holly. I don't think Beckham will, because somebody like that, the attitude, the me thing, whether he is or isn't, he's definitely perceived that way, and that wears on teams. Guys like that always change teams at some point. I think he will leave, but I don't think it'll be a while. I think he's a very good player, though. Actually, I liked him coming out, but I didn't think he was going to be that good. Dak was using a machine for signing autographs for him. Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible. See, to me, that tells me that he thinks he's already the big honcho already. To me, I wonder about his ego. Dak is being accused of having machine signed football, then selling them. So wait, well, is he saying yeah I did that, or is he saying no I didn't? Because if he said no he didn't, then I always, if somebody says no, I always give them a chance. I always trust them until it's proven wrong. You're innocent until proven guilty. Thoughts on Fletcher on Fox? What Fox? Who? Which one? The coach, the player? Who are you talking about specifically? How do you feel about the suspension of Cowboys? I love suspension of Cowboys. It happens every year. The time between the last OTA and training camp is always Dallas suspension and rest watch. That's when that happens. This time right now, Cowboy organization must be they must worry so much. They must have sleepless nights. Suspension of Cowboys make me laugh. Me too. I love it. Will Josh Gordon play again? That's a good question. I hope so. So, who do you think will go to the Super Bowl this year, and who will make the playoffs, and who? I'm going to do a whole show on it because I don't just come up with the numbers. I like to go and I like to look at schedules and compare. And I'll work on that for you. I'll have something. I do think most likely, just off the top of my head, I think New England is a team to watch out for, and I don't want to say, but Giants are in the mix in the NFC. New England and someone else. Yeah, exactly. And if the Giants did play New England, they're going to beat them because they're in their head. Yeah, I'm getting there. I don't know where I'm at right now, Jonas, but yeah, I know I'm getting there. How about them Giants? Yeah. Giants, like I said, if I'm being honest, the Giants are a team that if I was an NFC team playing them, I wouldn't want to play them in the playoffs because I think the Giants are a team that can win. Are you worried about? Yeah, I am worried about Brandon Marshall signing. I think that was a scary signing for the Giants. I think it was a very good signing. I mean, look, they have weapons against our corners. Yeah, definitely. But man, just let them play in Green Bay. Yeah, right, exactly. Giants defense is good, but you can move the ball on them. Yeah, that's true. Marshall is a red zone beast. He is. What do you think Dak Prescott's saying the Cowboys are winning the division? Yeah, he said they're going to win the division. When he said that, it meant that Dallas automatically lost the division. I love that he said it. Be confident because you're going down this year. They're going to finish in third place. That's what I think. I think Dallas is going to finish in third place. I think Dallas has got a big rude awakening coming. I don't think Dallas is as good as everybody thinks that they are. Cowboys think their defense got burnt with all these rookies. Yeah, Eagles fan. And look, it's the same argument I make about playing corners, rookie corners like Rasul Douglas. The same thing I say about that is the same thing what I think with Dallas. You got a lot of rookie corners. They got to learn to play. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to make mistakes. And it's if they're going to be good, they might be good. It's not going to be this year. It's going to be year 2, year 3, that kind of thing. Cowboys D sucks. Eagles will finish second. I agree. Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, I'm still live stream. I'm just going with it, man. How do I watch the Eagles game? Well, I get DirecTV. I get the package. I've had the package ever since I left the Philly area. Even when I was in the Philly area, I had DirecTV and I had the package because I like watching all the games. I'll watch every game I can. I'll even record games and then watch them during the week. I record all the division games and then watch them again. Holly, Marshall's age because they're 13. Yeah, Holly, but you gotta remember, the Giants are in a 1 or 2 year win now mode, so that doesn't matter for them. Yeah. Well, I mean, I got it because of the football. How does that work with DirecTV? Are they all on one channel or different? They're all on different channels. It's it'll be let's say they dedicate, let's say 700, from 700 to 735 or 732, whatever it is, will be dedicated to all football games. So you go to different football games. Now, they'll have the red zone and all that stuff is there too. So what I do is you can record five things at once. So I'll watch the Eagles. If the Eagles and the Giants are playing at the same time, I'll record the Giants, I'll record the Redskins, and then I go back and I watch everything. But what I did, for DirecTV is expensive. So what I did is you call them, call the retention department. This is what I did now. And I say, look, this, I'd like it. I want to get football. This is expensive. They'll give you a deal. I got a deal where I got DirecTV for $99. 4 payments of $25 for not DirecTV, for the football. And usually it's $380 for the one I got. So it was only $99 this year because you call the retention department. Don't call and just talk to anybody. You got one in the retention department. They're going to try to keep you from going there. The retention department is ones who give you the deal. Yeah, that's awesome, Gregory. Did you move or something? When you move, they give it to you free. The Redskins need to get ready for a new quarterback. They can't keep Frank. Yeah, I think so, Tyler. I think they're going to have to start over. The guy for he does, so I hate does. That's awesome. Yeah, to Ohio. Yeah, they'll give it when you move. They give it to you for free. Yeah, we got scammed for that. That's horrible. Couldn't afford New York. Yeah, New York's expensive. California's expensive. California's ridiculous. Now we're going to go back east. We actually have property in Florida, and we also, go up to Philly area, Jersey, that whole area, because all of my family's there and stuff like that. So, but I don't like California. I want to get out of California. If you call DirecTV, say you want to speak to the retention department, they're going to act like there is none, but you say, I'm going to speak to retention department. Look, something to the effect of this, this is expensive for DirecTV. I'm paying. I wanted to get football. How am I going to afford all this? You need to help me out. I see you give offers to subscribers of DirecTV. You're willing to give them all this, and I'm a customer. I want a deal too. They'll give you the NFL thing. Maybe they give it to me. Yes, bring back the old Randall Cunningham, the Kelly Green. Yes, hell yeah. I love Kelly Green. It does DirecTV work? Yeah. I mean, what do you mean? Does it work? If you're in Philly, because of Comcast, their monopoly, it's very hard to get DirecTV anymore. We had a lot of problems when we were DirecTV in Philly. They want you on Comcast. But if you're not there, definitely, yeah, it worked for me. And if you can't get DirecTV, you can buy it online. I actually like the throwback blue and yellow. You like that? Oh, God. You like it more? Oh, you're killing me. I hated that jersey, that little bumblebee jersey. Oh, but then nothing's worse than the Steelers got out of jail jersey. That was the worst. I like the Kelly Green. I totally like the Kelly Green. I'm a Kelly Green kind of guy. The only thing wrong with DirecTV is that there's bad weather. It turns off in Ohio. I've seen... Yeah, we used to have... Because I have it in Florida too, and we'd get those thunderstorms every day at 4 o'clock, right? Because we're right near the beach. So every day at 4 o'clock we would get it. And sometimes it would go out. But overall it wasn't too bad. I mean, I have Comcast internet service. My Comcast internet probably goes out more than my DirecTV does. Yeah, I move a lot. Over the last 10 years, I've moved a lot. Way too much. But I know that I don't want to be out west. I'm not a big out west guy. So eventually we'll go back. I would like to be near the beach. Like, I like to do like split. Perfect world. I like to be like Jersey, Philly area for 6 months, and then like in Florida for 6 months, like that. So what is the retention department? They're the department that when you're trying to cancel, or you might want to cancel service or something like that, they're the guys that make everything okay for you. Their job is to keep you with the DirecTV. They're also the ones that give a lot of free promotions, but you got to talk to them. And when you call, they try not to let you talk to them. So you have to be willing to go a few rounds sometimes before you get to them. But if you're patient enough, it'll work. I have another question. Can I watch football on the computer using... Yeah, if you get the right package, you can do it. You can stream the games as well. And if you don't have DirecTV and you can't get DirecTV at your house, then you can buy DirecTV online. Now you go to Florida and tell the Bucks fans, Jackson. Yeah, well, it was in Jacksonville. It was Fernandina Beach. Do you ever... I'm not going to answer that. Can you get a package just for PS4? Can you... Yeah, I think you can. If you can't get DirecTV, you can. Um, Tyler, I don't know. I personally, for me, I like DirecTV better, but I don't know. I mean, I haven't had cable in so long. Like like I can't tell you one way or the other. I always had DirecTV because I wanted the football. And back in the day, even when I was in Jersey, you couldn't watch all the games. You'd have to watch what they put on. So the only way you could do it was DirecTV. So I got DirecTV because I like to watch. I try to watch every game I can. Yeah, it's a 2 year deal. Do you have it, or you think again? If you don't have it and you get it, they'll give you the football for free right now. Most likely they'll give it to you for free. They give it free to new customers every year. Can you watch the Flyers on direct? Yeah, you can. You have to get the package. You have to get the hockey package. I usually get the hockey package, the football. I used to get them all. I used to get all four packages, but I get basketball and hockey and Phillies. I don't get through DirecTV. It's too expensive. I get it through the internet. Football, I get through DirecTV. You get football for free only for that year. Yeah, only for that year. I'm just telling you what I did. I called them up and I told them, yo, this is a lot of money. You want me to pay all this channel? How am I going to do this? My contract's up, see? And I said, I don't know what I'm going to do. And they said, well, we'll do this for you. And I wound up getting football for 99 bucks. I don't know, it's comparable. You're going to have to look up. I don't know what it's comparable to. You know, we've had the same rate for like years, so, you know. Hollywave message retracted. What the hell did you say, boy? I wonder what you said. I'll get some water. So, any more questions? Are we good? What do you guys think? Bill Stan. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. Man, I saw that 30-30 on the Bills. They lost 4 Super Bowls. That was a shame. That was definitely a shame. But yeah. Yeah. It's all good. All good, Holly. All good. All right, couple more questions. I'll give you 3 more questions. I'm out of here. I'm going to go see the family, the wife, the kids, do all the beautiful people I live with. Do you think McCoy will be mad again coming back to Philly? I don't think he'll be mad again, but I think he always wants to be, you know, a whatchamacallit, an Eagle. I think he's mad about that. I think, yeah, that's all good. You know, you want to know the worst, we're against NFC teams? You want to know what's worst? Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. You like, no, I don't. I think the Eagles will be the Falcons. You think the Eagles will be the Falcons, so you think we're going to go to the Super Bowl, get a huge lead, and then blow it and choke it at the end? Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I like Corey Davis over Mike Williams. All right, take it easy, Jag. Thank you. I don't know. For a long time, look, you know, LeVar, I just do it. I just come on and I talk to people. If people talk and ask questions, I answer. I try to be a man of people, and I try to answer questions and interact. You know, I think Gregory. I just think Corey Davis is a stud. I just think he's all around. He's got size. He's got the speed. He's a great route runner. I think Mike Williams is big and he's a physical receiver, but I don't think he has the speed or the route running that Corey Davis has. How the Falcons were 8-8 and made. Oh, okay. Yeah, forget the part that they choked. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, oh, hey, look, I hope so. Nice chatting with you, Spunky, too. Football is my favorite sport. Football is my favorite sport because I just love it. I love everything about it. I love the physicality. I love the teamwork. I love the drama of it. I just love football. Best corner in Eagles history, in my opinion, Eric Allen. I love Eric Allen. I think he belongs in the Hall of Fame, to be honest with you. Do you gamble? Yeah, I do, yeah. I'm not going to lie. Over the last years, it's been geared more to FanDuel and what's the other, DraftKings, because I've gotten money off that. I'm still live, man. Yeah, I keep it going. I'm with Jews. Best year for the 04 probably. What do you think of better safety? Sean Taylor, Dawkins was a better safety. Sean Taylor, look, his life got cut short, which was sad. He had all the world talent, and if he would have played his whole career out, who knows? But because his career was cut short, I give it to Dawkins. If the NFL was, I agree, Holly. I agree. Bet your favorite team to lose, that way you're happy no matter what. I never bet. Well, I do bet the Eagles. My first bet ever was a 3-game parlay again with the Eagles. It was that famous Dallas game where they went for it on 4th and 1 twice. And I won that game. And then I bet a couple other Eagles games growing up. And I actually, yes, and I was underage. And you shouldn't bet underage and all that. But then I had bad luck. I would lose Eagles game. I couldn't bet against them. So I don't bet the Eagles. I try not to bet them. Who do you think is better, Landon Collins or Dawkins? Dawkins. Well, not even close. Landon Collins is a good young player, though. Do you go to Eagles 44-6 game? I did not go to that game. No, I wish I did. I appreciate you, man, for doing this for yourself. Well, thanks, Green Forest. I love all my subscribers. I love all people that watch. I appreciate you. And anytime I can come and talk and chat and nothing's going on, I love talking to you guys and answering questions. So, it's fun. I enjoy it. I have a lot of fun. It's fun for me, just like hopefully it is for you. Do the Eagles have more talent roster than 2010? Yeah, I think so. Can I be? No, you can. No. I'll remember when we came back and beat the Giants. That was awesome, Tyler. That was so good. You're a fair Eagle fan, so that's what I hear to think. Thanks, Gregory. I appreciate it. I try to be. I mean, of course there's bias. When you want to talk about my bias, you talk about Reggie White, I'm probably going to be biased. I can't help it. But I try to be rational about it. I have a USC Carolina interview tomorrow for football. Oh, yeah, Green Forest, that's awesome. Good. What is it for? And I hope it goes good for you. Jordan. I mean, I'm not a Michael Jordan fan, but you got to say Jordan. Michael Jordan was the greatest, and I hate it, but it's the truth. It's definitely the truth. All right, you guys good? One more. 2010, we hit Vic MVP version. Yeah, we did. Your daughters are adorable. Put them. They would love that, LeVar. That's what they want. I hope I get into the NFL. What are you doing, Green Forest? I missed it. Wentz or McNabb? McNabb right now, but hopefully Wentz will have a good enough career that, hey, in the end we'll be able to say him. But right now, obviously McNabb. McNabb was the Eagles' best franchise quarterback. I mean, I don't see how anybody could say, not from a statistic point of view. My favorite was Cunningham. Oh, Green Forest, good, man. Look, I'll say a prayer for you. I wish you the luck. I hope it goes great. How to McGregor, Floyd? I think Floyd. Yeah, I think so too, Holly. I think he will. I definitely think he will. Who you got your money on? Floyd, definitely Floyd. Floyd is playing. It's his game. He's got the advantage. All the advantage is his. If you put events with Dallas offense, who would have won a Super? Yeah, possibly, definitely possible. That's for sure. If you put Wentz, thanks, man, and hope you get. Thanks, man. I appreciate that, Green Forest. I do. I hope everything goes great for you tomorrow. That's such a cool opportunity. I hope it goes well. Let me know how it goes. I appreciate that. 7 + 7, I don't know, 12. Okay, with that, I want to thank you all for joining. Take care. I'll talk to you later. And don't be a dingbat.